for me. I definitely feel that way about what I see out there on a screen. You know, how can you believe it?
On a woman.
I guess you can't. You can't know for sure, can you?
No, not
Brad
really.
Pitt on a woman. Oh, funny. Sorry, excuse me. Ow. Fucking
Kramer.
There's two aces.
Yeah, pocket aces. What's up? What's up, y'all?
Not much,
Still
Jake.
kind of. Yeah, man.
It's good for you to
Johnny.
have this hang out, man. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a little while, huh?
We've missed you out there,
Couple
yeah.
months, yeah. Well, I'm still here.
Yeah, yeah, and you sounded good too. Everything going okay on your end?
Very good, yes, thank you.
That's good.
Can't complain. So how y'all doing?
Great, man.
Yeah. Loving this nice, glorious Sunday. Beautiful weather today here.
It couldn't be worse here. It's black. It's cold.
Yeah, it is. That's
Great. Yesterday was disgusting. I went to Leicester, and it was fucking bleak. No one was around. I was like, the sky was black. It was like really apocalyptic. Quite scary.
Jeez. Yeah, that's when you just go to sleep and hope the house don't crash down around you, huh?
Yeah, that feeling. But all the cities I went through, quite, I went into the city of Leicester, and the railway station was empty. I mean, there was no one there. I thought, this is really weird. Compared to Cardiff, this is really strange. When I got back to my city, it could not have been more of a comparison. It was absolutely bumping. There was a dozen armed police. There was thousands of drunken women and drunken men falling about the place.
Oh,
Right
no.
the way through the station out into the city, like it's a crazy place where I come from.
Is that a common thing? People just wasted walking around the streets?
It's famous all over the country.
Wow.
You Google Cardiff and it'll actually come up on the top of Google about my city. There's actually a photo of a woman with her knickers down taking a piss in the street. The sort of thing. They're like
sexy.
Yeah, no, handbag dancers. They put their handbag down and they dance around their handbag, hoping for a bit. YMCA or whatever they dance to. Celebration of good time. Whatever they like. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Yummy. Coffee keeps me alive. It was an 8-hour round trip to Leicester.
Yeah. You and Johnny both with your coffee.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all should have a contest. Who can drink more in one day?
Oh,
no,
God.
I don't drink too late because it keeps me late all night. I have like orange juice late.
Yeah. That's weird. I only drink coffee every once in a while, and when I do, it actually affects me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if I do it like 3 times in 1 week, that third time, it's already kind of lost its magic.
Starbucks stuff has got a right fucking boot to it, especially their espressos are fucking wicked. Yes, Cat. What up, brother?
What's up? Hey, it's been a while since we've all been together.
Yeah.
Hi, Gav.
How you doing, guys?
Good.
Fucking awesome. All the better for your company, bruv. Always a blessing to see you.
So kind, Martin. So kind.
Oh,
mate, I've seen all that bullshit about Space Center, man. Oh, my God. I was in stitches. How bad? No, God. No, come on. That was bad.
Yeah, Sputnik, fucking Lunik, Voyager. They had bit of the moon, apparently. Soyuz. There's all sorts of good shit in there. Spacesuits were really shit. They're made of canvas material.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's like, they were like
diving suits, right?
Yeah, Helen Shepard. They had a photograph of Helen Shepard sitting in the seat. Then the actual suit in that seat to prove that it was hers. So actually, that suit's been to space. Okay, on a spacewalk. And it is fucking material. And they show you the inner underpants with the pipes and shit that go through underneath. That's material. I'm sure it's lined with something, but still material. I'm fucking shocked. I thought they honestly
they
saying
look
that
like
would
kind
protect
of-
you in a vacuum of space.
Is it still radioactive?
Yeah. No,
Yeah, Martin. They look kind of like Long John onesies.
They do. They're onesies, exactly what they are.
You know,
Long
it was.
Where was the crapper on Apollo 11?
Good one.
You know,
Good one.
that's where they kept the car, the fold-out car, right? In that compartment.
Yeah.
They
You
pulled
know
it
that
out.
film with with Tom Hanks? I think that was Apollo 15, wasn't it? The one when they when they basically, do you know when they made that part for the engine, it broke down some CO scrubbers out of socks and gaffer tape, and somebody in basically NASA that built it advised them how to save their lives, and they built scrubbers. In theory, that would work. CO would filter through socks, I suppose, and it would save your life. But that engine, the fucked up, they had that in there from Apollo 15.
So it's all integrated. It's a global reinforcement. You know, you've got the movies helping.
Huge globe like that. Globe fucking programming from the off.
Well, Martin, you remember the movie Capricorn 1? We've all talked about that before, right? Well, the space station that was the center in Capricorn 1 was NASA.
Yeah.
So is that fiction? Is that real? It's like, why would they have a name attached to that, something as absurd as a fake Mars landing? Which is really
the James Bond film showed it the year it was happening.
Right, that's right. Diamonds Are Forever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only allowed in satire, it seems.
Yeah, and people will miss the point because they're laughing and thinking, what a joke. Yeah, right, they faked it. But they really went.
The joke is looking at a live NASA feed. I mean, I just can't imagine any adult. I didn't grow up with CGI, so it just looks like completely fake to me. They even have
room from 1969. So you could go in there and literally sit down and experience what people would have experienced in 1969. The psychedelic wallpaper, the radiogram, all of the furniture. And what they watched at that time was absolutely horrendous. An image from an image.
Right. But they saw 2001 a year before, and that was incredible. So it was like reverse psychology when they actually saw Man on the Moon. It was like static and bad reception, but we wanted to go there so bad, and it looked like we were there. We saw it on TV in the bar, so it had to have happened.
On board, color cameras.
Right.
It did happen on TV.
It did happen on TV.
Live, apparently, live. Apart from the little 15-minute delay for all of that signal to come all the way back from the moon. Have anyone gone to the countryside lately when you can't get a signal on your fucking phone? Yet they can send a signal back from the moon through the radiation belt that's apparently there back to us.
Oh, did you know Star Trek, which was so big before man went to the moon, right before a couple of years, it went off the air either just before or right after July of '69.
Really?
They were done. Yeah, it did reruns, but they were done right when man went to the moon. And if you notice, any science fiction made after man went to the moon, Battlestar Galactica, even Star Wars, it doesn't look anything as real as Star Wars. Yeah.
Gene Roddenberry had his ashes apparently sprinkled in space. They took him up in the space shuttle.
Right. That's right. Gene Roddenberry, right. He's
in the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Right back down again, right? Because gravity works.
Oh, unless you're a plankton, you'll end up on the window of the ISS.
Oh, God.
Bastards.
Oh, man. I missed you, man.
Why can't we see through it, Ryan? The globe people can't. It just drives me nuts. How easy they were yesterday in that space center. Oh, it's incredible to think that they went to space in that. On about the Soyuz, apparently taking Tim Peake. Nothing could survive in that.
Right.
There's a tiny little ball he's apparently sitting in, and a hatch at the end is supposed to couple up and basically lock in, and apparently he crawls out and goes into the ISS.
Right.
Well, it's like a squished giant baked bean tin can. You know?
This, Gav?
Well, you know why people believe that? People believe that because they believe what the globe has taught them. You know, if you can believe that water curves mathematically, don't even question it, then they can give you all these small little man in a tin can systems that we believe it actually does what they say it does. Mm-hmm. It's physically impossible to imagine the Wright brothers to man on the moon in that short duration, that they actually accomplished it just because John Kennedy said it was okay. And that's exactly what happened. Yeah. There was a timeline in the 50s. It was what I forget the writer of 2001. Someone help me. Clark, right? Clark, yeah. Well, he came up with the concept of satellites.
Yeah.
In the 50s, and then the Russians had it 10 years later. So it kind of works like that. From Jules Verne to
the communication satellite. Yeah, he didn't invent it. What the fuck?
Mm-hmm. But they were able to come up with space invention very quickly and actually conquer it pretty much the first time out, and then never again.
I think William Shatner says some interesting stuff, though. Have you heard some of his stuff lately when he talks about, look, all space is science fiction? He's actually saying it's all sci-fi. It's not happening.
All sci-fi. Yeah.
Interesting. And he's into all conspiracies. He does that show, doesn't he? When he puts his newspaper down by the front door. Can't remember. It's good, though. Fucking globe thing. It's trippy, that thing you got.
I thought it was a whole joke. I watched it from start to end. Yours and Nathan's little one as well.
I got loads of film and photos I got to put together tomorrow on a little musical collage when I got a bit of time.
Nice.
Today. Yeah, loads of pristine fucking pictures, but spacesuits and moon rock. I can't believe they get away with that. just basalt. You see, they show you basalt before you go in there, and then they show you a bit of moon rock, and you're supposed to think it's from the moon. But they tell you can find bits of moon walking on Antarctica, or even bits of Mars. They'll tell you. How did Mars get you bits of Mars? From the giant gravitational pull of Earth? I know.
I was going to say, where's a piece of Mars? Did they not supposedly bring a piece of Mars back with them?
Well, apparently they found in Antarctica, they say. I don't know, they say they just match the analysis of what Mars is built from. So AKA must be Mars. It was they apparently just on the ice, meteor hunters walk the ice apparently, and they're worth tens of thousands of dollars. Meteors, if you happen to find one, apparently.
I mean, come on, we can use logic here to determine that that's bullshit. Because how hot did it tell us that something becomes when it comes through the atmosphere? And there's no chance in hell that that's landed on the ice and stayed on the ice. It'd be tens, if not hundreds of meters under the ice. Oh dear.
Float down gently onto the ice.
Oh yeah, of course. Maybe it had its own parachute, That's more believable.
Yeah, it is.
Right, I'm going to make a coffee, guys. I'm going to step away for 5 minutes, but I'll be back soon, okay?
Yeah, cool, Gav.
Okay, Gav. Funny.
Yeah, just maybe go against the globe or even more seeing that. Somebody said to me today, did you even think going in the space center you may be wrong? So what about the Earth's flat? Because he gives me a bad time, mate. Dio, he's a truther, but he won't have flat Earth. He said, look, Mark, why do you have two channels? One talking about conspiracy, one talking about flat Earth? Because every time I watch you, it's really putting me off when you say the Earth's flat. Actually, I'm a bit offended by that. I'm like a religious zealot. I really am fucking offended by that. Because I like the flat Earth. So, no, I don't think there's going to be any neutral ground on that. Flat Earth.
It's hard to argue with everybody about the size. And even when you have the common people, two people believe in Jesus can argue all day long about something they both feel the same way about, but they are arguing about it. It's just the way humans, what we do. I try to let it all go and simply say that Like I can't talk about flat Earth all day long. That's me. But I can talk about NASA all day long because that's very important just on a basic. But it's really about that. I don't believe that we live on a globe. I don't believe it's spinning. And more than that, we've been lied to about everything that connects to that. The science, the math, the spiritual teachings. So that's, I'm not to say what's right, but I stand up against what's wrong. What I feel doesn't equate with what we've been taught, with what we've been shown. I have 4 children myself, so I have to think about truth in the sense of what's true for all of us, not just an opinion that I might have, that you might have. We can argue about anything. We can even argue about the same music, brother, how we feel about it. But what really matters is that we've all been lied to. And it's hard to come to grips with. It's a life-changing perception that keeps going your whole life.
Exciting. Just lately, it's exciting.
It is.
It is. I've seen things today that made me go, oh, wow. One American pundit saying, everyone's talking about this. We wouldn't have had anything to talk about this week in the news if this flat Earth business hadn't come up. And, just bringing it to attention on mainstream media, everyone's looking at it. So everyone's looking at it. This guy's known to hundreds of millions, or 100 million people. That Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, you know what I'd be more impressed with, though, than if say, the whole world realized the Earth was flat. If the whole world realized, way beyond what they kind of know if they're being sinister about governments, that how evil it really is, how the news is lying to us about, there is no news. It's all propaganda. If people realized that, then they wouldn't worship all the thought compartments that we fall into. It's such a mind trap, I can't tell you what I believe because I don't really believe anymore, you see. I don't believe in my mother. My mother exists. I know of my mother, right? I don't believe in her. That's like saying I'm holding on to this thought, and this is what I'm going to go with. Like, no, I admit what I don't have any idea about, which is a lot. The way the world's going right now, I couldn't tell you anything about what I know about it, except that it's not the real deal. It's a system that is basically matrix affiliated and has us all going into portals of death. It leaks your energy. Yeah. Your spiritual energy, your physical energies. They make us sick by the foods that they give us. Well,
you're right.
How could people do that to themselves? How could humans do that conclusively? And then you get into a deeper side of evil and what's behind all that. And that's for anybody's guess, right? None of us really know what the answer is, but we're all tapping into a perception that kind of puts a spoke in the wheels of what they call progress right now. Because we're not going forward with that. Technology is basically entrapping us.
It is.
I would dare say that we as humans are pretty much one of the few real things that there is in this world. The spirit of what we are. Animals too, if need be said, but I'm not really sure what's real in this physical world anymore. That's where I've come to with Flat Earth. It got me to look at everything, not like in a kumbaya way where isn't it glorious? I'm like, oh my God, there's nowhere to go. And that's for anyone to say on their own journey. But I've been in this a long time, like maybe over 35 years. And it wasn't until 2004 that, the word like Illuminati and Mason came into it.
Same.
From the internet. But I'd been tapped into this stuff, 20 years before that. I just didn't have names for it. There weren't books about it yet, or whatever.
All right, Johnny, I have a question then. If you've been in this for 35 years, that's a long time, man. That's longer than I've been alive. So what would you say was it that first, kicked you off and made you think, wow?
Yeah, it started with me being a bad student in school. I went to the very best private schools in Washington, D.C. is where I grew up. So I kind of had that sense of being out of the system, like automatically. And I wasn't religious. My parents weren't religious, but I went to a boarding school for dyslexia in 1979. And that was really, no one knew what dyslexia was. I was accused of all kinds of mental problems. They had me taking Ritalin and Prozac.
I have dyslexia.
I went through all that shit. And So what happened was I met a counselor in the boarding school. He was 9 years older than I am. I'm still friends with him. He was a Christian, and I became a born again Christian at that moment. Got a Bible, which to this day I've never been able to take in. But we started talking about music, and this is when the Wall was happening in '79, and the whole rock and roll thing about the devil's music, you know, the Christian take on that, which really resonated with me. So that seed was planted. I went home. I threw away my 200 rock records right in the trash. A lot for a 14-year-old. 2 years later, though, I bought them all back. You know, like a teenager will. But the seed was planted, and I started my own group, and it came from a perspective that, like, man had fucked man up. That's, you know, I was getting into concepts, and the music sounded like Rush, just like it. But I was coming from a totally different perspective. I was against what, you know, I loved Led Zeppelin, but I sensed that they were on a pedestal on stage I didn't want to be. So that kind of injected into me. And then MTV came, and I wasn't following the 80s. I was 20 years old in 1985. And I was like, when is this shit going to end? And I basically thought we were going into a period of time where this was going to pass. MTV, Video Killed the Radio Star, you know, a lot of Duran Duran looking kind of guys. I thought, okay, it's going to pass. And 10 years went by and the rest of it. So I basically came in through the back door through entertainment and studied subliminal messages when I was a teenager. So took a lot of acid when I was younger. I took a lot of acid, and I lived on acid for maybe 2 years, but very responsibly. So I saw all this stuff. You know, when the digital cartoons started coming out, I don't know if you guys remember, but like in the late 80s, they were just starting to make cartoons, commercials, digital, the look of it. And I'd be smoking a joint, looking at it and going, what the fuck is this? And it's not turning me on, you know? So I came against the look of the new Star Trek.
Finessing video was awesome when that arrived, yeah.
You know, like the late 80s new Star Trek, right? All the adults were digging in. I was like, well, it looks totally fake. That's coming out of I was like, come on, the putty on the nose is the alien, you know, the little bit of putty. I was like, what's going on? Yeah. It was realer 12 years ago. So I noticed that with just culture, and, you know, I never got into the Michael Jackson Thriller thing. I was like more of a manly kind of guy, so I wasn't into the eyeliner. And I noticed things were getting gayer, whether they actually were or not. You know, everyone was looking very androgynous. So I just watched it. I didn't really claim what it was, but thought it was going to pass. Then came the Kurt Cobain period. Things got darker. And I just kind of, you know, back then all you could do was live it and be against it. But when the internet came, then you got to kind of look back at things and hear what people have to say about a whole period of time. Like MK Ultra was probably, the whole scene of that was probably one of the most important understandings for me about how everything worked. Why Bugs Bunny was standing up. Why Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse were wearing white gloves. What that means. Why they talk like human beings. And why animation was made so abundant. They made so much of it. And it was made for adults at first. Yeah. And it had a lot to do with how we're going to perceive ourselves through that. And we're going to be entertained, but we're also going to be hoodwinked.
I like the Roadrunner.
Well, I liked a lot of it. But when you start to get into symbols and you get into the occult and you see it's in everything that you loved, that's when Mozart and Hendrix came falling down for me. 2004, I was on a couch. Seriously, guys, for 3 days, I couldn't move. I was in shock. Now, I had my Vincent Price, you know, movies up there. You know, I'm a musician. I compose a lot. I like my old stupid, you know, horror movies like Bela Lugosi and shit. I'm looking at, you know, 3 days after I got into Illuminati shit, I'm going through all this spiritual stuff. And I'm looking at Vincent Price. I'm going, holy shit, he's a fucking warlock. I get it. It's real. The bats with the string you can barely see. Yeah, that's all Ed Wood. But Ed Wood would have never been what he was had the occult not been real. There was value behind all that. So that's what I got into. I realized that even the shit that was just low budget had a lot of validity in what they were, you know, bringing out to us and what we see and how we see it. From the tin can 1950s sci-fi movies all the way to 2001. It was brilliant how they got us to believe what they showed us. And that's just ingrained in your consciousness.
Yeah, it's insane. It really is. I mean, with regards to those cartoons, yeah, I love them too. I still watch them now, you know,
I
Looney
do too.
Tunes,
I do
Tom
too.
and Jerry, and, you know, Sylvester and Tweety. Yeah, I love all that, man.
Top Cat.
Oh, God. Have you guys ever seen the Betty Boop Bimbo cartoon? Yeah. It's at the, what is it, Initiation Party?
Is that recent?
Yeah, no, it's from the 20s where it's a Masonic initiation. Want to be a member? Want to be a member? And they're like, yeah, it's very revealing. It's like 1932. Really? Yeah.
I'll have to go back and look.
Well, they did all that, you know. They did the Flintstones. They're part of the Buffalo Lodge or whatever, and the Raccoon Lodge and the Honeymooners. You got the Flintstones. That was to further reinforce the Flintstones and the Jetsons at the same time, man. In space and the Stone Age. Wow.
Yeah.
You know,
I never watched any of that shit.
Yeah, well, that's going way. That was the 60s, 70s kind of shit.
Oh, I did. I remember watching all that as a kid. You know, I'd come home from school, put the TV on, I'd sit there for 2.5 hours just watching all the cartoons.
Oh, dude, they correlated it so well. You know, the very first Twilight Zone, 1959. It's called Where Is Everybody? I've told this before to our friends here. But it's interesting because a guy walks into a town where no one's there. He doesn't know it. He goes into a cafe. There's a burning hamburger. He thinks he's talking to the chef. Hey, I want breakfast. You know, goes on. All right, no one's there. He ends up walking into the town. No one's there either. It's a circle with a school building, whatever it is. The little park ground in the center where the cars drive around. That is the set for Back to the Future. Okay, number one. It ends up he's on a phone talking to an operator. He thinks he's talking to a person. At the end of the show, he freaks out. They show that he's in a capsule getting ready to go to the moon. These military guys had him sleep and food deprived for like 4 days. He's got wires attached to him. He's all freaked out. They come out. They say, you failed. You didn't make it. You're not strong enough to get to the moon. And the general that's barking at him ends up being the gorilla in Planet of the Apes that says, the only good human is a dead human. And there's no accident. These people are cast in early shows to migrate into what they've become. Like William Shatner in Outer Limits, where he's Project Vulcan, and it's all about a Mars landing.
Someone on the wing.
No, that's the Twilight Zone. Yeah, that's a Twilight Zone episode. I'm talking about the Outer Limits, same period. He's actually with his cohorts in Star Trek building what will be Star Trek. Not know it's to him, but that's how they built all these shows connected to NASA. You think they would have had all that machinery for even Lost in Space without NASA's okay? That's where they got it from. It helped perpetuate the interest in what NASA was trying to propagate and what they succeeded in fraudulently bringing across. It was brilliant. All the world is indeed a stage. It happened on a screen.
I fell for it.
The Mushroom Cloud, same thing. Yeah. Same thing. Sandy Hook, same thing. You know, I was crying when Sandy Hook happened, man. I thought it was real. I just thought Adam Lanza was a mind-controlled slave. You know, I just thought he was a programmed dude that shot the place up, you know, in real time that day. Yeah, I thought it was real.
Mm-hmm.
And I shut it off because I don't watch TV. A year later, was it 13? Yeah, I'm on YouTube. I see all the debunking on Sandy Hook. What gets me? The parents. I see the parents. I'm a parent myself. I'm like, holy shit. And I start watching it for like a year, became very affectionate with the debunking of Sandy Hook, and it just works out that there isn't anything about that story that's true. Let alone the fact that the school wasn't even in operation since 2008. So everything we see on screens has to be questioned.
Are we on? Can I start crying? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that Robbie Parker guy, that one.
Oh, isn't it sad? They're all sad. The coroner, they're all sad. I mean, it's just bad acting, total government and police state control. They were going to arrest people who had anything to say about the case at the time. It was lock and key, man.
Yeah, that coroner didn't know what the hell was going on.
No, he didn't. But he had to pull it off live, you know, and that was tough to do.
Preach it, Johnny. Preach it.
Preach.
Of course, I'm sure you won't hear much about it these days, you know, in the news. Why would they bring it even up? It's done. But it permeates in the public's mind as a real event. Whether it happened or not, people believe that it's real.
It's
That's
stupid.
right. Just even imagining it, has an effect.
It does indeed, Days. Absolutely, yeah. But just the fact that everybody said it was true, they're on a belief system of global reinforcement in this world. So you're listening to the Walter Cronkites globally. You guys have all seen when they show a news bit, when they show the two anchor people saying cherry cake, and they show the other newscasters saying the exact same thing over and over, and all of them say, well, that's all it is. These
Yeah,
are
100% fake.
And I don't want to hear about Walter Cronkite's little tear when the man, landed on the moon, because did you guys catch when they came back on the press conference?
Oh, yeah.
Who kicked who in the balls? But from seeing that reaction, I still believe it's possible that those astronauts like Capricorn 1 didn't know until the very end. They look like they're in shock. They don't look like they were a part of all that.
They look in shock.
They did. They look like, what the fuck? And I got to be proud about this shit?
So weird. But they had all that ticker tape parade, though, Johnny, with all through New York and shit, and all that before that conference, all that adulation. So what the fuck's going on?
Right.
Did the mind control lift? I got a feeling they didn't even go in the rocket. I got a feeling they got to the door and they were
like Capricorn 1, right? Like they lift him out right before.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
Oh, it's so great. It is so great.
Yeah,
and
I love
it. It has magical powers to it. It has magical powers because my story, here it is, guys. Here's the NASA thing. I was living in Brooklyn in 93 with a bunch of musicians, and there's a party going on, and people are talking about this movie, Capricorn 1, and they're talking about the plot. And I said, what? What did you say? And they go, yeah, it's about a fake Mars landing and O.J. Simpson, and that was it. The moment they said that, I knew men didn't go to the moon. Don't ask me how. It just correlated.
What do you mean?
I didn't look further into it at the time because there wasn't much to look into, but the seed again was planted on that from Capricorn 1.
In plain sight.
Yeah,
exactly. Just hearing that, like when at Flat Earth, it was like, well, water doesn't bend on a globe. And I was like, and that was it. You start running with it. And you're like, yeah, how can that be?
Yeah, I remember that. I'm like, yeah, how the fuck? Wait, water? I've never seen water curve. I've been to the beach. I've been.
And it never does. You'll be on that ship, and as far as you go, you'll never get to it. Because it's a mirage. You never fucking get
never curves. Listen. I've seen the curvature of the Earth, and I've seen water curve. I've seen ocean curves.
Guys, I can tell you, like I tell my wife, why the Earth spins and you're not feeling it. Because bullshit and bullshit, mathematical bullshit and bullshit.
I felt the earth spin. I mean, I must admit, I drank 2 bottles of vodka first.
Oh, absolutely.
Did the earth move for you? Yes, love.
But that's what they do. They explain everything with mathematics that you can't possibly correlate yourself.
Yeah,
that must be where the theory came from. The Earth spinning theory is fucking primitive men getting fucked up and drunk. And like, Earth is spinning, man.
That's a good idea, man. I will make it stick.
Then they ate mushrooms and invented NASA.
Yeah, but, you have to be straight to invent NASA, though. That's not even a trip. It's like so fucking boring. And
no, they wanted to call it Nazi, and they say, "Oh fuck, we can't call it that. Just change a letter. They'll never know."
Yeah, right.
Like planet, plane, just add a fucking T. They'll never know.
It's so true. One letter, you take a penny away from a million, you got 999999999. So very powerful editing. Just ask those that have argued about scripture. Which is why I don't like to argue about things like that. Facts aren't important to me, really. I know that sounds weird, but
no, we don't know anything in reality.
We really don't. I mean,
I admit that. What he says.
I certainly admit that, but we know it's bullshit, though, don't we? At least if we live by something that we thought was true, and now we can look at it and say, well, that doesn't measure up how I'm perceiving it now, because I've got a different outlook on everything. And it really comes down to what can you trust? You know, if you just elementary go to someone who doesn't talk about these things.
Right.
You can trust me.
Well, besides you, Ace, we can't trust the news. We can't trust, you know, advertisers. We can't. There's no responsibility out there. The school system. What do you got to trust? The things that take care of children.
You got me.
No fluoride. I mean.
So, did you see that transsexual win the wrestling match championship?
No, what was that?
Yeah, this transsexual, I don't know, it's either, it was a male that turned itself into a female, and now it's winning.
Good God.
And it's a teenager. It's like 14 years old.
Oh, wow.
And so it's winning 14-year-old tournaments, and it's a male and destroying females.
Wow.
And I was just thinking, you know, transsexuals, they get a lot of support, actually. They really do. So I was just thinking, I was going to ask this to the panel here, who gets more hate, flat earthers or transsexuals?
Oh, flat earthers, easy.
Isn't that something?
Well,
Definitely. It's easier to come out to your family as gay or trans or any of that than it is flat
I figured
earth.
you guys would say that's a little bit of a psychology fucking mind fuck that is.
You know, personal people might, you know, on their own, your feelings might feel differently, but the group thing, it's politically correct not to be against that. Try to do it in public, you know?
Mom, Dad, I'm gay and I practice bestiality and several other things I don't want to mention. Oh, that's okay, honey, you're just being yourself. And I believe the earth is flat. What? I'll kill you.
That's the one thing you don't want to bring up, man. I mean, you can talk about anything, you know, anything, any subject you want. Clones.
Oh, okay, son. The earth's flat.
I mean, so when we going to fall off the edge there, Martin, eh? It's always the edge. But that's what we were taught in nursery school. I mean, when you get to first grade, you get to Christopher Columbus, they tell you when they got here, they were scared they were going to fall off the edge. And that's programmed into us at the very beginning. So that's always the comeback line.
Yeah, I mean, if a space rocket kept on going, I mean, wouldn't it fall out the edge of space, you know? And it's the same concept, isn't it? They always ask us for a picture of the edge of the Earth. Well, you give me a picture of the edge of space.
That's a very good point, Gav. It really is the same thing. And yet we all know what space is.
It's expanding. The edge is expanding. It keeps growing bigger, guys.
How about this? Can we have one continuous shot from launch to orbit?
No way.
Please.
No.
Why not?
That's too much
because there are only 30 billion satellites.
Instead of having 10 different exterior shots, I mean, you got the one shot going up the whole damn way, and obviously that rocket's not burning the camera somehow, and it can see perfectly fine. So let's just keep that footage going, and you know. And the Indian space launch was so despicable. Did y'all see that one where it launched like over 100 satellites? It was like pooping them out everywhere, and they were falling. They were like, boom, and they were shooting away from whatever was launching them, the main satellite. I was like, what is causing these things to go shooting off like that?
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you see the satellite getting
cheesy.
Destroyed, getting lifted up in the weather balloon?
No.
Oh my God! This weather balloon, like, it lifted it. They let it go too early, and so it just started dragging the fucking satellite, and it ran into a fucking somebody's car. So a fucking satellite that was getting lifted up by a weather balloon. It was like a malfunction, and it just fucked up somebody's car. It was amazing. Somebody shared it, and yes, it was really. I've never seen a satellite like that fucking.
I have one.
See, you know, I agree that there are balloons that are satellites and whatnot, but I don't think it's for us. I think it's for like secret shit. You know, I don't think they're using that technology to make it seem like you're getting TV. You know, via satellite or some shit like that.
Oh, okay, dude. You just gave me a mind fuck, dude. See, what they did is that it started with 9/11 with the CGI technology. So they made everyone believe that a plane flew into the building when in reality it actually, there was just a fucking, that's all it was they made it, what's that called? Wile E. Coyote. They just blew up the fucking, that area. They just blew up that area to make it look like a plane because they knew what size the plane was going to be. Yeah. So they just CGI'd it and then they blew that part like a Wile E. Coyote. Bloop, yeah. Because that's physically impossible for a fucking aluminum plane to melt through steel, right? 150-ton fucking I-beams. It's like, get the fuck. Like, that's an
and then the nose come out the other end unscathed.
So I just shared that video on my Facebook earlier today, and I was like, whoa.
How about
I've always known that.
There was nothing ever on the ground, right? I mean, there's never remnants of plane anywhere. Pentagon, 9/11. There's nothing there.
As soon as they got that fucking ID, I was like, whoa, this shit's totally fake, dude. They found a passport? I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, you know,
like 16 years old. I'm like, they're finding fucking passports in the fire. What the fuck? This world's fucking liars. Oh, no. That shit sucked.
And video games help, too. You know, all the programming that we're involved in life, let's be honest, it helped that belief system. Star Trek helped NASA, Man on the Moon. There's no question about that. We were in a space race back then. People can't imagine what it was like, you know, before the internet, before Woodstock, before MTV even. I mean, people believed we had the technology to do this. So it's the same thing with weapons of destruction. Yeah. I mean, you've got that kind of technology going on supposedly with 9/11, but you also have nuclear, which has been introduced to us. So everything is in our minds. How it's transmitted on screens and animation, like you guys are talking about, the NASA CGI stuff we look at. There's no difference between that and Bugs Bunny. It's like we're arguing because Bugs Bunny talks. He's real on that screen, but he can't leap out of it. And either can the NASA rockets. It's the same principle, right? It's real as long as it's in the world that people believe it's real. But the rockets can't come to us in real life, and we're saying, well, why can't they shoot off and we see the whole thing go on? Because they've never done that. It's never real. It's always animation.
Obviously.
Yeah, but it's just so interesting that they actually have the whole world.
But those are questions for people that are just starting to look into this to kind of ask themselves, you know?
Yeah.
Because I mean, even if you're a fan of NASA and a boy or a girl, You gotta ask yourself questions like that. Like, why is there no footage or pictures even or anything of the ISS being built or the Mir space station or any of the other Skylabs, you know, things like that. And then, Jesus, there's just way too many to list. It's overwhelming. I don't know if people can't see that. They're just not meant to be able to see it. It's just not their time, I guess. So.
What it seems like. It really is.
So maybe they just don't have their souls, and like you guys do.
See, that's the weird thing. I've been thinking that way. Like, even like, how many of us are actually real? Like, is this all programming? Again, all this.
My whole theory on spirit and the soul is completely different than I have a really mean.
Well, I mean,
I don't think everyone has souls. Like I look at people.
No, they're non-playable characters, NPCs.
Well, no, I mean, I wouldn't go that far, not solipsism. But no, some people I just listen, I just hear their opinion, and I go, oh, okay, so his opinion's worthless and useless and meaningless, and yeah, so like that person doesn't have a soul. It's just like, you can just hear it. You can hear if they have a soul in their voice. It's just simple, and that's what the war is the numbers against people who have souls and people who don't. And the people who have souls are usually flat earth or rational questioning authority people. And the people who don't have souls are atheist heliocentrists and evolution.
Well, I think it can work both ways. Like those that have souls are just, they're stubborn and locked into their thing like an old man will be. Everything that
you might be recognizing how robotic.
Well, yeah, that's non-human. I call them non-humans.
That's the summary of it for you. Yeah.
If you don't have a soul, you're a non-human. So you got regular humans like us, and then you got a non-human who is simple. Like I don't know. Some people will look at it as really.
We're beautiful people, are flat earthers, though, Dan. I've noticed. You're right. There's some beautiful people in this.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We're tuned in together on the same experience. So,
I'm sure there's a little beauty in Quasi if you dug deep enough, you know.
He seems really safe, don't he? His normal self. I wonder if he could just act normal.
I have no way of
time on me.
saying.
He sends me comments all the time, really loving comments on Skype. Like, I'm really grateful for your existence and shit. He's not the Antichrist, obviously. The Antichrist wouldn't cry.
He's got kids, hasn't he? Well, a child and a missus and that, you know. So I can imagine his persona off camera is a heck of a lot
really
different.
Loving. He's all for
peace.
Of
course. Yeah.
Peace and love, defo. He's for humanity.
Yeah. He's just passionate.
He's for the sake of humanity. He just calls everyone fuckwits. Everyone gets annoyed.
Sometimes you just need a touch of crazy to get shit done, you know?
I reckon he got 45,000 subs by doing a touch of crazy, and that's telling people's asses off. Literally, some people need it, a slap. And that's what he does.
Hey, do you guys know a guy named Joe Davies?
No.
Because it's this atheist heliocentrist that has called me up. And he's like, "Oh, I just recorded you freaking out on me," and I'm like, "Good." I'm like, "Please upload it so then I can upload it onto my channel, and then it'll be." It's like, dude, they don't realize how much we deal with globalism and heliocentrists. They don't realize how much we debate with people and talk with people and engage and interact with all these different types of people. And so when they do it with us, it's amazing how, and they can't speak. They can't even formulate sentences. They can't even fucking make sentences after you talk to them. They're just speechless. They can't believe that someone like you exists.
I know, Dan. So fucking cool. I love it. I love being the rebel, me.
Boo.
All of us. The rebel.
Oh, you light
against the globe. Stop. No, hang on. Shake it first. Turn the gas up a little bit, or tighten the anything, and then slow.
It's
you keep clicking. It'll never fucking light. You got to do it slow.
Usually I'll just press the gas a little bit. I'll wait like 3 seconds of hearing the gas and then I'll light it. And usually it works because there's gas in the air, you know.
I know all about that.
There's probably some fluff, some tobacco in there. No, still broken. Oh well.
Okay.
Oh well, I'll get over it, Martin.
Have you got a cooker?
No, I actually don't.
Bugger.
Can you believe that?
We rub 2 sticks together.
I'll be here all night, man.
Do you have a 20-ton press?
Funny. No, I've got another one somewhere. I just need to find it. Bummer.
It's not having a light.
That's one problem I don't have anymore. You got to go to eBay, get the 50-piece Bix, and you'll be good for that year at least.
Yeah.
I got this emergency Zippo thing, right? It's just a normal little Zippo thing, but it's not a lighter. It's a flint on a stick, and you go, and you always get fire. You know?
Hell yeah.
But petrol. But it's a handy for backup. So cool.
Yeah.
I made by Zippo. Have y'all seen the electric lighters? They make this little plasma arc, and you put your cigarette in there or joint or whatever, and it lights it.
Really?
It's pretty fucking cool. Yeah. One of them makes an X pattern. It looks like it hurt like a son of a bitch if you got touched by it. What's that?
Let's Google that.
A Google lighter?
Nice. Plasma
lighter. Do you know what I use about
yeah.
You're not going to believe this. Vampire watches, right? They apparently stick a needle in you, take your blood out, swill it around in some CERN technology, and inject it back into your blood.
What?
I'm
It's
not
healthy.
fucking shitting you. I don't know what certain technology, but apparently something to do with the atomic structure. And it's
What was
altered.
that? That's the first I've heard.
Dracula watch. I got told yesterday at the outing I want to buy a flat earther. Have you heard about these fucking Dracula watches online? I said, what are they? He said, well, they're using that fucking dark turn technology. I don't know if it's antimatter or what have you. And it injects it into your bloodstream, swirls it around, and injects it back into you. I don't like the fucking sound of that at all.
Freaky. Yeah, that sounds really
Yeah, man.
strange.
Exactly the same, reaction I had when I heard it. Gav.
No, I don't
Is it an
believe it's
intent watch?
Oh, go on.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure, mate. Dracula watch, he said. It's fucked up if it's true. I'll have a look now.
A watch powered by your blood pressure.
I don't know
do
what
you
certain
guys?
technology-
Do you guys?
Exactly. One time, sorry.
Hey, do you guys like plan on ever meeting these people that we're making fun of and asking them questions to their face, like I do?
Like Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Oh yeah. Like
I wish you could. I
I'm gonna
wish,
make-
right?
No way. I couldn't handle that. I'd end up bricking
No,
them or something.
you know,
Seriously.
Honestly, I don't think there's any point to it because if you're good with where you're at and if you have a family and you're able to live through this in a way that benefits you, because it's really about discovering what lies are. You know, because just to say my own personal, my kids have never gone to school. We're homeschooled. I'm not legally married to my wife. We're together for 19 years now. You know, so I'm just a naturalist, you know, as much as I can be.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But I'm not a part of anything out there. You know, God forbid if something happens like a tumor or I go to the hospital if my leg was run over by a car. You know what I mean? That's like an emergency.
Yeah.
You're out there but I wouldn't take any medicine. It's pot, tobacco, coffee, and I'm lucky if I can drink some water. But that's how I live. And it's really difficult to try to like get along in this world. It's probably the hardest thing to do at this point.
It's pretty much.
But they're beautiful people out there. They're beautiful moments, you know. And I'm 51, so I can say this. I can, you know, you get to a certain point, it's like, well, what am I getting out of this? Or, you know, I've only got so much longer to live, and it's all going to shit. You could have all these bad perspectives of life, but really, it's about those little moments. It really comes down to what you can enjoy. That's pure, not complicated.
Nice.
Is it the sun? Is it being with your daughter? Is it being with whoever? Your girlfriend? Alone? Being with your dog? Fishing? Being quiet? It's not about all this fucking information. Trying to figure out about the Roman library. And I say this, I'll just repeat.
Trying to figure out the Roman library. That's funny.
Well, you know, I love who we were, and I love who we are, and I love who we'll be, but I hate mankind. I hate history. I don't believe in history. I don't believe in the invention of, you know, like the wheel all the way to the rocket. I think those are props, and the guys on the statues that invented all the shit may not have come up with it.
Agreed.
Yeah,
really,
you're 100% right.
Society. So it's hard to go forward with all that there, because that means all museums are monuments of fraudulence.
Oh yeah, it's mind control.
Monuments of fraudulence, like the churches are. And I'm not calling anyone anything. I'm just saying the institutions are bogus.
Tell a lie, make it big. That's the rules.
Tavistock's motto. You know, that's how it works. Disney and NASA together.
Edward Bernays' saying.
Mm-hmm. When they said Warner Brothers and United Artists, they were not kidding, but that wasn't for us. We the people wasn't for us. It was for them. Criminal justice tells you what it is. It's telling you it's justice for the criminals.
Terence McKenna says, society is a childish illusion.
Cool. I love Terence McKenna.
It should be thrown in the garbage immediately.
I agree.
Too bad Terence wasn't a flat earther. Imagine the damage that motherfucker
would have been if he'd have lived. He would have been. I'm telling you now. He would have been.
It's like, I don't understand how a man of that...
No, he would have been a fractal earther.
Yeah.
It's singularity. A fractal earther.
He was obsessed with
fractal alpha.
Yeah.
A fractal alpha.
True.
Oh, yo, Ace, you were on my hangout the other night, and I was pretty drunk. I don't know what exactly
happened.
I remember you saying something about a dream character, and you were questioning. So I just want to publicly apologize for anything if I stepped over the boundaries too much. I don't think I did.
I don't think so. Everything's
All right,
cool.
good. But I just want to publicly apologize.
Just in case.
For show.
Yeah, it's just a show. It's just to appease the.
And hope no one noticed, like I do.
No, I just wanted to say it to appease the egomaniac and show all the dumbasses that I actually have compassion.
I know, Dan. You're fucking cool, bro. Love it. So funny.
Man, the news is crazy, man. How's your family relations going now with all this mainstream stuff? It's like rubbing my butt in their faces and rubbing their faces in their own piss. It's like that's what you get for not seeing the flat Earth truth. Now you're gonna have to hear all these journalists and analysts talking about this shit.
So what do they say?
And now you're all thinking about me.
I'm sure some of them have seen it. What do they say?
I've seen that clip that Mark Sargent put up on Bill Maher. That just fired me up because I hate Bill Maher to begin with. But what it shows me is he knows a hell of a lot more than he admits, and he plays. He's like Zappa. He's like Frank Zappa, man. I hate to say it. I love Frank Zappa.
Okay, it's true.
Seth MacFarlane was on the panel. Okay, that's all that needs to be said.
Mm-hmm.
If that ain't a shill, he sucked the devil's dick himself, I think.
Yeah, you got to, haven't they? Or they can't.
I think so.
Whoa. He pulls up in the fucking limo, and then you go,
That motherfucker reminds me of Elon Musk. Seth MacFarlane and Elon Musk remind me of
that's
the
the
fucking
one gobble. Elon Musk.
Yeah,
It's just something not natural.
There's so many references in the cartoons that he makes to all sorts of, a whole wide range of
too
things.
many references.
Oh, yeah.
It gets tiresome after a while, right?
No, they know.
I see all that shit at the beginning was so.
Well, that's how they make money off of it, guys. That's why that's why they're millionaires, and that's why
they're in the game, aren't they?
Really, like you got to think about that. I want you guys to be wealthy. I want you guys to be wealthy.
I did some experiments a few years ago with sync, or what I call sync magic. You take films and music, you put them together. It's that Wizard of Oz, Dark Side of the Moon thing. I got started with that. You guys have heard of that?
No.
Where you play Dark Side of the Moon, the whole album, with Wizard of Oz, and it correlates. So I took it further and started with just using Dark Side of the Moon. I put it with The Exorcist director's cut. I mean, it's incredible. The things that correlate with, how 4/4 timing and rock and roll is a standard. Well, they use that in film. You know how most films are 90 minutes, a certain length of time is usually standard. There's rhythm to it and music where greater things come out of it, like in the dream state when you put them together. For instance, you play Dark Side of the Moon with Wizard of Oz, it gets the brain damage, and that's when Dorothy meets the Scarecrow. Now, when you watch it with the sound down, when you watch it with the sound up, it's very cheery. If I only had blah, 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 right? But when you watch it without it, and it's going with David Gilmour's playing, which you think is pretty beautiful, it all becomes scary. It becomes sick, like he's a mannequin. It's really, really out of control, the way it correlates together. And with at the same song, from beginning to where it gets to that, with The Exorcist, I don't know if you guys remember the film, but the priest in the film, he's got a sick mother, and he's in Washington, and all of a sudden it cuts, and he's right in New York to see her at Bellevue, right when it gets to brain damage. He goes into the insane asylum, okay? And there's stuff with Sgt. Pepper and Fantasia, and it goes on and on and on. I have all this film, all this music, but I got tired of it after a while because it was endless of how well it went together. Now, if I was,
do you think that's the universe itself?
Oh man,
yeah.
I think
encoding stuff like that.
It's definitely the universe's sick, fucked up humor.
It's showing the contraption, the mechanism for what it is, how it goes together. It fits with other things.
Even when you're terrified of your even when you're terrified of your life and you think that you're about to be murdered, either thrown off a cliff or shot in the fucking side of the head, even then. And you literally think that the universe is still your friend and it still loves you. and it's not against you. And so like it's just it's really fucking weird, guys. But yeah, like it's
True that.
like there's definitely an afterlife, and we're probably in it right now. But there's probably different afterlives.
Okay, you know, it was a weird sync adventure when I was putting Sergeant Pepper with Fantasia, the Disney film. You guys know that one?
Fuck yeah.
And so I put it in the order it's supposed to go, the original order, and I'm watching it, and it's about to get to, it's getting better all the time. I'm like, what the hell is going to happen here to go along with this song? And all of a sudden, the fairies start putting sprinkles on everything. It's getting more colorful and more, yeah. And it's but the rhythm is going with it. It sounds like
wild.
There's like opera in Sergeant Pepper. There's like Arabic music in it. You would never notice it unless you saw it with the visuals.
Wow. The Beatles conspiracy is amazing.
Don't get me started.
Don't get him started, player. We'll be on for hours.
Get him started. Get him started.
Oh, I love the Beatles rabbit hole. Is one of the biggest ones there is. It's almost as big as the Elvis rabbit hole.
They're all pretty big. They're all pretty big. But what they show is that what we have with all of it's what's called social engineering. And none of it was grassroots. It happened out of here and turned into this from a logical evolution, if you will. None of it is.
Well, I'd say 10% of it was real, though. I'd say
some people were real in it, no question. I mean, I'll even say Jimi Hendrix, you know, who is one of my favorite musicians, and was incredibly talented, but really, he would never have been what he was had he not been an MK Ultra slave.
Yeah, you're not allowed to be at the top if you're not part of the agenda.
He was opened up. That's why.
Yeah, but that's where free will comes in. That's where you got people like Kanye West going, yo, fuck being cool. Yo, I'm just trying to tell you guys the truth, you know? Fuck being cool, you know?
He might have said that a little too late, though. You know? There he is, the man. Woodstock.
Woodstock? Yeah. Oh, there he is.
There you are, Dan. Look, check it out. With his 4x12 amp.
Beautiful.
Marshall. Beatles use Vox for some reason.
Isn't that wild? His name was James Marshall Hendricks. Isn't that
Marshall Hendricks? Yeah, man. I got a picture of his gravestone. Robin Poe actually went there for me to photograph and made a little film by it and sent it to me. She's a fucking angel.
Wow.
Robin Poe, I got it. I got it in my collection. Serious.
Well, that was mean of her.
She's lovely. She's really kind. Went out of her way. Because it's in Seattle.
That's cool.
Yo, so is John Lennon still alive?
No. Well, I don't know. I think it's
Chapman was
the one. Who knows?
Sure. He's like Sohan, who was definitely.
Are you John Lennon, flat Earth British?
No. Well, he's from a city not far away. So I'm
Hi, Jimmy.
Plus, I've loved him all my life. So everyone's always said that to me. So
I love John Lennon.
I mean, so much. So much.
My theory is pretty much the Granny Glasses John was replaced John from How I Won the War in 1966 up. It's a different dude.
How many?
Oh, so they replaced John too?
Yeah. Why did they? They did replace John. Yes, there's definitely two Johns.
That's how they became hippies, man. I mean, the original Paul McCartney would have never been a hippie. Never.
Right.
You just don't change like that in 3 years. They were professional suit-wearing musicians. They might have undone their ties a little bit, but they weren't going to. But John Lennon with the bed in. That I'm sorry, I'm a big Beatles fan. That was a disgrace.
I know.
That whole peace and love.
I know.
Yoko Ono bullshit.
I know.
Actually, did you know that Tim Leary was in that room too?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Tim
Leary was in all the rooms.
Good old Leary.
Oh, he wanted to make it. And what I'm getting out of this, strangely enough,
don't start putting it. Don't start dropping out MK Ultra with fucking MK. He's a double agent. Don't start getting into that. Then you're getting to Madame Blavatsky and Aleister Crowley are British intelligence agents.
Yeah, it all kind of connects. We don't know what's true of any of the myths.
So
we know it wasn't good.
That's where I draw the line. I go, I dare you to cross this line.
Well, Sergeant
Bob
Pepper.
Hope. Bob Hope.
Sergeant Pepper. Yeah, go ahead, Dace. Bob Hope. Bad
Bob
dude.
Hope's good.
No, he's a piece of shit. That's all. Bob Hope.
Yeah, Bob Hope was.
Piece of shit. Bob Hope.
was
Bob Hope.
very,
Piece of shit.
very important in what went down. But Sergeant Pepper album, you look at that, just the album, that picture tells you a huge story of, the military operations going on. It's all symbolic. It's all
The cover's
occult.
cool. Got his gravestone
Yeah.
set Paul made out of ganja leaves on the bottom. You got Alistair Crowley's on there and many others.
They wanted Hitler on there.
No, they weren't allowed. They had Churchill on instead. Roosevelt, people like, but there's a lot of cult people on there. I noticed Blavatsky didn't make it. What's his name? Brave New World. I got a list on the cover. You get it.
Aldous Huxley?
Yeah.
Aldous Huxley. He took acid on his deathbed. Crazy motherfucker.
Actually, he took his wife completely gave him so much that it was close to that's the way to do it, man. Good for him.
I got the original cover here, right?
Yeah, let's see that, because the most important thing on there.
Right. Well,
He says Paul is dead on there.
I know it does. But look at this, right? On his jumper here, it says a little thing on his arm, which says OPD. In Britain, that means presumed dead.
Officially pronounced dead.
That's the one, Dan, yeah. And he says he got it from a Canadian as a gift sent to him, but that's just fucking bullshit when he was asked about it. He got his back to everyone there. He's the only one. And he's the only one dressed in a different colour.
Do you see how much
album, right? Again, back to him.
That shot right there. Hold that there, Martin. John Lennon's got short hair there, like he did during Rubber Soul. All he's got is a mustache and granny glasses. Why does he look so different from 1965 John?
He's got a skinny face and long hair.
It's a totally different bone structure, man. That's a different dude.
So Ringo's the only one left there, huh?
Could
Does that
be.
mean the Ringo's the only?
It's hard to ever really know. I've noticed something since getting into the Beatles like 20 years ago on this that I've learned from forensics, not forensics, but trying to look at faces. When you have your forehead covered, it's really hard to see a lot of the man, young or old. You'd be amazed how much of your face is covered when your forehead, that's half your face right there, pretty much. The shape of it, you could do a lot with bangs and, they didn't look like they had that long hair right to the earlobes, but all their hair was always hanging over their faces. And you can do a lot with deception with hair, making different people look just like that person.
Well, they keep everyone 15 years or 10 years aged behind, or what's it called? So they make them look 10 years or to 15, even 20 years younger in the movies and the TV shows. But when you see them in person, you see that they're actually, it's like they're a lot older than they. It's the same thing with lying about your statistics in football, WWE, basketball. They lie about how tall they are, how much they weigh.
Right.
So it's all fucking connected there.
It is. You're very right. I never thought about quite that angle of it, but you're very right. It is all connected. It mocks our ability for perception, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, that's exactly what it is. So damn it, dude. That's such a shame that they can't tell the difference between reality and fantasy. So I'm good at telling the difference between reality and fantasy because I've watched it my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
Hacksaw, Jim Duggan, Jimmy Superfly, Snuka, Hulk Hogan, Randy Man, Ultimate Warrior. It's my first memories of my life of watching actors.
Wow, those guys are talking about 9/11, for Christ's sake.
Oh yeah, the Twin Towers and the demolition.
Right, yeah.
See, it's all fucking, and Vince McMahon's a fucking high level Freemason.
Well, Ed Sullivan was.
Oh yeah.
The Beatles. I mean, it's all scripted.
And the ring. Hold on, British. The ring that they wrestle in is called the squared circle.
Okay. There you
That's
go.
that's the flat Earth model, the squared circle.
Sonic symbology.
Yeah, because the four corners of the ring, and then it's usually in a dome arena. So the squared circle.
Yeah, as well as a Masonic saying.
Yeah, that's what those meetings are. It's just big Masonic. Yeah, it's a big Masonic ritual, and you're seeing their play, their act that they're performing in front of you. Wow, that's crazy. So it's literally a giant Masonic lodge, and they're performing a ritual in front of your eyes, and they're making money
they do that with the cartoons. They do it with everything.
To a pretty good extent, yeah.
Yeah, and 90% of those people think that they're heroes and superheroes, and they're doing the world a favor.
Right on, you got it exactly. That's how, unfortunately, all the books I loved, all the heroes I had, I pretty much dropped authors, musicians, artists,
Same
actors.
here, dude.
You know, it's hard. It's hard, even though I still have to refer to shit and enjoy some of the music still. But 4 years ago, or 10 years, it took me like 4 years of like not listening to anything because my heart was so broken by, you know, the mind control that makes it what it is. And it's tough to take in that much of what you love when it comes crashing down in what we call reality.
Yeah, I got that information overload that you're talking about, and that's why I'm so like lackadaisical. I just don't give a fuck, because I just know the humor and the non-seriousness of it all. It's like I get really serious sometimes, so it's nice to be not serious a lot.
You got to be able to have a sense of humor, you know, have that other side. Absolutely.
So we're all dangerous people, by the way, guys. So this is dangerous what we're doing, because we have open minds and we're discussing flat Earth and all this stuff. So like no, that's what they say. We're dangerous. Oh my God, Bill Maher says this is dangerous. These people are so we're terrorists. We're dangerous. Is what?
Well, it's mental illness. It's mental illness from his perspective. What he's saying.
It's dangerous.
Yeah,
wow, it's
insanity.
It's enraging to hear someone call me dangerous. It's like, I will be dangerous if you say that to my face. Actually, I'll just laugh in your face, you little tiny Jew, man. It's like,
yeah, I hear
Bill
that.
Maher is up to my fucking nipple, dude. You wouldn't say shit to me, you little fucking tiny little feather man.
Is he the most punchable guy? He's the most punchable guy. Just looking at that guy, you just want to just walk in the streets, not saying anything. You just run up to him. You're like, "Fuck you, Bill Maher!" Oh!
That's a big secret too in Hollywood, is that these people are tiny, man. They're fucking small. All of these actors.
They're bred from jockey genetics, same species.
Yeah, what is that? Like they're real, like all the heroes. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That famous gay guy, Tom Cruise. Yeah, he's real short too.
Yeah. So Tom Cruise, tiny. Arnold Schwarzenegger, tiny. Rocky Balboa, Sylvester Stallone, tiny.
No way.
Tom Hardy, that new badass guy that everyone loves, who is Bane, tiny. Like these guys are all like 5'7", and they all like
Prince being
3 foot tiny.
3 foot 8 inches. That's like really small.
And then you got someone like Will Ferrell or Vince Vaughn. So these are like bigger. These are bigger comedians. And Daniel Tosh. These are bigger comedians. Like he's like 6'3". See, I even pay attention to people's heights and weights. So I look at their numbers, their heights and weights, and I especially pay attention to body language. But these actors, it's just easy to spot. And then it's like weird. They're insecure about their height. I just don't understand that. Like stand-up comedians, they're really tiny people. I notice. Like, why are actors and stand-up comedians and politicians and these people, they're really tiny. What does that mean? Why am I saying this? Why am I noticing that?
Well, making up for something.
So it's weird. It's weird. I don't know. Kevin Hart, tiny little
fat fuckers. I don't know.
Yeah, he's really tiny.
Fucking. What does that mean? I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe I'm looking into that too much.
Oh,
Archie.
Hi, Jake.
So like, short pedophiles are running the world or something?
You know what? Yesterday morning on the news, right, when I got up early to go to that outing, on breakfast telly, the woman, right, was going on about fucking pizzas for no reason and saying what her favourite topping was. I'm not shitting you. They must fucking know. And joking with the guy, the newsreader, like, you know, on Breakfast Teddy, the man, the woman, talking a pack of shit on the couch. Yeah?
Flatbread.
Looks at her, and she looks at him like they know what they're saying. I thought, oh, for fuck's sake. Really, pizza fucking toppings at this time. Bastards.
I could go for some pizza.
Did you see SmackDown Live with Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, and Renee Young talking about the flat Earth?
Oh, I missed that, yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yes. So just to let you guys know, Vince
you're
McMahon,
a flat earther, and he's like, no, I'm not a flat earther, but the information's out there. So he thinks the Earth's flat. Like that's exactly what we all went through too. Like when we first started talking about it.
Yeah,
as soon as you
Oh,
mentioned
he also said to the general manager of SmackDown, he says, "You just can't, I don't think you can handle it."
Yeah.
Nice.
That's
And
good that everybody's talking.
and then the pathetic woman Renee Young, who I lost all respect for, she goes, okay, let's and then AJ Styles interrupted her because he's wrestling and that's what their personalities do.
Oh,
And he goes, oh, you're cutting me off. You're getting that's because Vince McMahon's in their ears, and he's telling them to cut it out.
Definitely.
Vince McMahon makes fun of flat earthers and globalists on his own show on live television, and he makes billions of dollars.
And
I think it's amazing.
His wife's in Trump's cabinet, isn't she?
Really? Linda McMahon?
Yeah, I mean, I thought the presidential campaign was a Vince McMahon script, the way they were,
100%,
going about him.
100%, man. I mean, Stone Cold Steve Austin gave Trump the fucking gave Trump a Stone Cold Stunner. Remember, Trump got a shaved Vince McMahon's head in that Masonic ritual we witnessed.
Yeah.
Well, I did. I
The
watched
whole
it.
campaign was like, I thought I was watching WWF.
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
And sure enough, Vince McMahon's wife is in Trump's cabinet. Come on.
Fuck.
Actually, yeah, he just took Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, I'm pretty sure Linda too. Vince, we're all just in a picture at the White House taking a picture with Donald Trump the other day, actually. Speak of the devils.
We're all in it together.
Yeah, so the basketball came out, on football it came out because some football players started talking about it. And WWE came out, and now it's all over mainstream. So congratulations, fellas. We're making hardcore damage. And then you had Neil deGrasse Tyson on the Joe Rogan podcast to do the flat earth damage control.
He'll give you 5
Did you see him on there? He looked like
Oh,
crap.
my God.
Was he baked?
He was baked as a motherfucker, GB. I'm telling you.
Probably a cokehead, man.
It was martined out.
It was Martin Gold. I know.
I'm fucking baked right now.
Not me. I'm always baked.
And I'm straight as a whistle, fucking sober as a fox.
Fuck that. Straight with all these drugs on the world. Fuck that.
See, us flat earthers are the reason why Donald Trump is president. Didn't you know? You stupid idiots.
I bet.
We're the reason why he's president.
They react a lot to us. I've noticed. Oh, look at the mess I'm fucking making.
Oh, man, I want some fucking coffee.
I got one. Ruby muffin, it says.
Where are you at, Dan? The sun's still out like that in California?
Oh, I'm in sunny San Diego.
Hey, wow.
So I just had to, I had to move, and then pay my own rent, and so all those globalists on my my YouTube comments, so I can tell them all to fuck off, and that I don't live with my parents anymore like they do. No offense, no. Yeah.
Wow, San Diego. I love saying that. San Diego.
So now they can't make fun of me for that. But you don't have a job. Well, yeah, I don't need to have a job.
I bitch. I'll say that.
My job is right now. I make videos. I put my content out there. Put my ideas out there. I support other people.
all day long. Hard fucking work. You're right. Supporting people. Nice one.
But we're just clueless laymen. We're not true teachers or educators like Milo and Neil deGrasse Tyson and Bill Nye, and
We're more trustworthy.
yeah, we're dangerous people. Remember?
Yeah, they love planting that seed.
We'll
You
bring
know,
on.
they'll make that grow.
We'll bring on the
Oh,
Holocaust.
man.
Fucking motherfuckers.
It's crazy.
No,
Think
he was
for
really
yourself.
rude.
Dangerous concept.
About us, wherever he is. Worse than fucking Rogan.
Oh yeah, so yeah, we're not real psychologists and therapists. We're just clueless laymen.
Yeah, because we don't have the piece of paper by the establishment that says we can do it.
I tell you what, we're all good with psychology. All flat earthers are fucking playing
It's
this
a joke,
thing,
isn't it?
joking.
You know?
Yeah,
It's a
fucking joke,
joke.
Gab. I bet we're better than any of them psychologists at psychology. Or any one of us. Defo. That's one of the things that comes along with flat earth, in case you haven't noticed.
Freedom
I wish.
to think more than anything.
I watched it disappear, freedom. I was there the day it happened.
I don't
I didn't
think
feel
we've
free
ever been
after it.
free. You know, they
Terrible.
might have the illusion of freedom, but you know, in reality, everyone's still a slave.
I know. Maybe not for long. Look, things take off. Look at Coca-Cola. Flat Earth will be the same. You watch. People love it.
Some people hate it as well, man.
Yeah, I know. I had a death threat yesterday. Somebody was going to kill me on the way to Leicester. And a Welshman as well. Just for saying years flat.
Where was that? Was that on YouTube? Or?
No, my comments. He's like, I can't even tell you how bad it was. It's the worst I've ever had. Death threat.
That's
Like.
against the what was it? I actually watched a video about all that yesterday. It's against the terms of service. You're not allowed to do that.
I got all
It's
I said.
actually a
Sometimes
criminal
I got
offence.
you, meaning you fucking nicked, because basically
Yeah.
I got this save, and you just fucking openly on my comment threatened my life. And he's like, I looked him up online, this guy's name, and there's only two in South Wales. One of them is this like bulgy fat guy, so I don't think it's him. And another one is a 27-year-old coke dealer who went to jail in 2009 and did years and have just come out. Now that sounds more like the psycho that fucking came to me. Right,
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
globe,
probably.
extraordinary cokehead with the mouth almighty, dishing the frets like fuck, really bad, Gav, really bad. So I went tooled up just in case. But the fucking
bunch
armed
of
police
idiots,
were all over
man.
the garage, about a dozen of them, all over the station, and you should have seen them eyeballing me. Swear to God, I thought they were going to pull me over. I'd have been fucked if they had. And I had one in my boot.
It's okay in the boot. Yeah, it's okay in the boot because you can't access it straight away. You know, you got to stop the car, get out, and get it. But when it's in like the, was it, you know, like the driver's door tray and stuff like that, when it's easy to reach, and you can jump out the car with it. That's when it's a
Listen,
criminal
even after you've been
offence.
filled in, it's still there. If you get filled in or something, or even fucking stuck with a knife, which is easy, you might sit, you still got that in your boot backer. Last resort. They need it. It's horrible to even talk like that, but that's the way life is, you know. Fucking, well, I know because I've experienced it.
Wow.
That's fucking bad. Fight for survival. That's all we do in life. Survive.
Yeah,
Day to day.
we exist.
We exist. That's basically all I do, Gav. Funny, that. Exist.
We
Like
exist
exist
to
now.
learn. You know.
Yeah, agreed. We learn well. We do try.
This could be an afterlife.
I think that as well. Or a dream. Dreams are the reflections of death.
Is
Who said
this
that?
the real?
Oh, yeah. And look what happened to him.
Fantasy.
Caught in a landslide. I wonder if he was a woman.
Skip my reality.
You know when he was born? Freddie
Open
Mercury?
your eyes.
Rhodesia. You don't know.
I'm going to sing a line each.
Look up to the skies and see. I'm just a poor boy. You don't play this thing.
I actually don't know it. I'll be
Because
honest.
it's easy come,
I
easy
know
go.
some
Right, little love.
I'm just a poor shell pushing that gravity.
Easy come, easy go. Will you let me go, ball? Yes, I will fucking let you go, ball. Yes. And he said Beelzebub's got a devil put aside for him. Wasn't he fucking right? He ended up minging with fucking the injection of AIDS they gave him somewhere along the line. Or whatever they give him to fuck him up. Probably polonium 210 if I'm not mistaken. Because he looks the same as that fucking Lavenko, the spy that was injected with polonium 210, the radioactive substance the Russians use. I think Freddie Mercury looked like the same, so it could have been that. Just saying. Might have been. If AIDS doesn't exist as such. Just a mixture of things to drop the immune system they give people.
Mm-hmm.
You catch everything. Easy come, easy go, little heart, little love.
I'm watching a video packed full of globers. Do you know what it's
Yeah.
called?
Go on.
Extreme Idiots.
Extreme idiot. I watch his fail army. Classic people twatting themselves, doing stupid things like skateboarding off roofs and dumb shit like that. You ever seen it? Fail army?
I watch
fucking
things like that on a
nuts.
daily basis, mate. You know?
You get some silly bastards, you know. Fucking.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I've
Classic.
been there and done it myself, you
I
know?
mean, I've walked into a patio window when it's been so dark outside and cleaned the window. I haven't seen it there. And I've walked quick, straight fucking into it. Bam.
Yeah, I've done that.
Another done it as well. 3 times. Oh, yeah.
It's life, mate, you know? It
Oh, it's
happens.
nothing
At least
funny
you can
as
turn
life.
around and laugh at it.
Gotta laugh, man. Your death's
Yeah.
laughing at you, gotta laugh back. Fuck them.
Laugh at
Okay.
yourself, you know? If you can't laugh at yourself, then you can't laugh at
I do.
anyone else.
Right.
Dude, I can see my faults. I laugh at my faults. I'm fucked up. Don't hide it. Ooh.
Hey Martin, did you see that quasi-luminous video
Fuck
going
yeah.
around
Not
today?
long ago. I'm still blown away by it, Jippy, man. Fucking what a shocker, man. No,
Yeah.
that explains a lot when he was on. I interviewed him and he was off his head. He's a fucking meth head, so it explains a lot. He was like that in the chair. I thought, fuck, how? But he's a lovely guy. He's a piece of love, man. He cries a lot.
A lovely guy.
Fuck that. Yeah, lovely guy. I wish he was more like that. And stop doing it with the Antichrist bullshit. And everything else. Yeah, they come down heavy on him. Please.
You wonder what his bag is. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
underneath all that stuff, like what he actually dredged up to proliferate all of that for the last over a year now. And didn't he just get into with flat earthers? Isn't that new? They just got in with flat earthers like the last few months.
Yeah, he came in
Right.
quite late, the end of phase 2, I'd say. I
Uh-huh.
looked at yeah.
He got on Flat Earth about May of 2015 because I was
really?
following him
That is
since
the thing.
2014. He used to be called
Really?
Omniluminous.
What was he doing back then, Jibby?
He was mostly into the Saturn research. Like he was really banging out a
No
lot of
way.
Saturn symbology, but he was still doing the ransom note cutouts. And
Okay, I was gonna ask how long he's been doing that for, because
yeah, that's been going at least since 2014. He's been that passionate, but I got into Flat Earth before he did, and I was sending him information to Flat Earth. And then he just kind of made an easy transition to Flat Earth. He just one day he's like, "All right, see, the Earth is flat, okay?" And
Right. Yeah.
I like him. I'm alright with him. He's a good mate. He sends me comments all the time saying he's really great.
Well, people are doing this blood over intent, though, man. I mean, that's, you know.
That I'm not jiggy with.
And that's
I'm
just
not really sure what we're doing.
that's
Yeah,
evil
it's
shit.
understand that, isn't it? You know, if people
Well,
want to
people
do
have done it.
it,
Dan's done it. Kicked off now, but he did it.
Right.
it's
True
what we
wisdom
believe
will
it
tell
to
you not.
be. No. The problem is what we believe it to be. You know, and we
No,
don't
People
know
can be
whether that's
misled.
true or
People
not.
can be easily misled. That's the
You
problem.
know? Yeah.
People are at a bad time in their life. They hear that. I felt his power. I didn't believe it, but you know when you feel somebody that's like a bad evangelist, you know everything they're saying is you're not going with it, but you can feel how strong and convincing they are. Even
Yes.
that's what I felt from him at one point. You know, he's dangerous in that mode.
I'm all right with him. I don't know. I think I'm equal.
I'm
with
not
him.
judging him. I'm just saying that's a bunch of bullshit he's pulling there.
Yeah, man. Quite a shock, you know. And his rap.
He's got the world, does he?
Yeah. Well, that's Peaky and him. I seen Peaky's interview earlier. Peaky Truth. He was talking to some YouTuber, and he blasted. He done a fucking Jew blast. He done all sorts because this guy had interviewed apparently his son. Some famous YouTuber had said it wasn't his son. It was Peaky with his voice change for echo chamber, and he went fucking berserk saying, "No, I got a son," and he pulled his son on the live tour. It was really strange. The whole thing was just weird. But Peaky's been accused of being nuts because he's saying these things about, you know, the false flag in Melbourne.
Well, Quasi holds the Spear of Destiny, so we should
he doesn't,
follow him.
Fucking
right on.
in the museum, so he hasn't got it. It's there. You can go and see it. Oh, the Scarab this thing. Yeah, did you see them 3 Scarab beetles? It's on our fucking turn shit. Whoa. Devil's face. I hope it wasn't him. I'm telling you, it was fucked up. They're bad evil. I don't know what they're up to in there. They want to unleash the abyss on our asses. What the fuck are they doing? They're trying to rip a fucking tongue. I don't even know.
That's why. That's another reason why it's important not to mess with people. You know, there's so much going on in the energy field of our surroundings, whatever you want to call it. You can't fuck with it. When you do,
Johnny,
you get into a power base against people, and you feed off them like vampires.
No,
there's so many people out there like that. Some people call them trolls. Some people call them agents. Some people call them vampires and other shit. But that's what they're all doing. That operate against other people through false information and act as a guru or whatever you want to call it that leads an idea. Yeah. That's bad shit.
It's bad.
All right, seen good flat earthers turn bad.
I have too.
Influences.
Yeah.
It's fucked up. I wish it wasn't so. Some of them can't say. It's true. Hurts my feelings to think about it. I like to think of flat earthers together, you know, in unity. I don't like all this division and different groups of people. And can't fucking talk to this, can't talk to that, and everyone's against one another. And saying, "Oh, you can't talk to this person," because.
But that's, you know, Martin. Honestly, that's the way it is throughout the centuries. In everything, races. We think we've gotten. Here's a funny thing, guys, that I saw growing up out of the '60s was Star Trek. Now, in the '60s, a lot of Americans wanted to see an Asian and an African American, you know, all working together, like on that Enterprise. The representation, right? Well, here's the point. When it finally got that way in the '80s with newscasters, you had an Asian man and a black woman anchoring, and they talk like this.
Yeah.
Right, so you never got what they bring into the culture pure. It got sanitized. You know, there's always images of differences and sameness, but we're all different yet all the same. But we're all going to be arguing if you have a belief system of religion, of what's right and what's wrong. You know, humans we've been collected by our governments and now by technology. So I hate saying flat earth or glober, personally. I mean, I know what you guys are talking about. I'm with you, but I don't consider myself either. You know, it's like I care about the people I care about and the people I don't know. It doesn't matter what they are. The belief systems have us all failing to see what we can't see, you know, which is something we just don't even know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
They want us to think with labels.
Exactly, Jimmy. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I've tried to drop all of them. I don't even call myself a guitarist. You know, I mean, I don't get into. Yeah, I play guitar, but I don't get into that bag. You know, it's just you have to call yourself something, but I don't go into like I'm a whatever earther or whatever. You know, I'm just who I always was, and now there's more shit that's been unveiled, and I don't know what to say about it except you can't go back to where you started. You can never go back.
Can't never go back.
Right.
Kind of know this shit, you know. No matter how deep you go, we've all gone quite deep as long, as you know. It's fucking one fucked up world. Can't sit by and let it happen. Got to do something about it. That's why I keep posting. Just keep banging them out, no matter how shit I fucking am. Just to get word out. Just to get the word out.
Yeah, it's a strange thing. After 2 years of all this trying to communicate with people, you realize what hive-minded really means. Or you can't lead a horse to water, right? Without them wanting it. You just can't. Not your own mother, your own father. Just to tell them a little bit, even about, hey, maybe Paul was replaced. You know, not even flat Earth. It could be any. It's really hard to bring that kind of an idea to people that follow status quo New York Times and, you know, local news. They're just indoctrinated so heavily on a daily basis that you wouldn't even know how powerful that is. Some people can come right out of it, but most don't. They're so indoctrinated.
Into the matrix.
It is a matrix. It's global reinforcement wherever you look.
I know. I seen that programming yesterday.
That's why they get violent at you. That's why they get mad.
I didn't see the security around us, and when Nathan put that video, that montage together, the really cool one, I could see security walking behind him, but not pulling us because I was live. That would have been a fuck up. They would have gone out to God knows how many people, as far as they know, and it was 90 people left, so they would have been fucking, you know. So, but I could see him hovering in the background. I didn't notice when they were there, when I was there, watching us. I didn't know. Yeah, it's fucked up. I actually went through a gate and triggered it, Gav, right? And the alarm started going off. And then the thing came back violently, smacked me in the ass, and I went, whoa, like that. Oops. And then I found myself outside and had to nick back into... Oh, and I lost my bag. My mother was in stitches laughing. I'm like, fucking taking photos of rockets and shit, all happy. And I'm like, my fucking bag and coat. And I had to go and traipse around, try and find where I'd fucking put it down. Just forgot about it.
What are you lying?
Fucked up in the end. I was
fucking adventure.
I was smoking cherry OJ Kush before I went in. Blueberry.
There you go.
I was fucking blasted when I got in there. You gotta be the space stuff. Fucking hell, mate.
Yeah.
I was to be a bit trippy, didn't I? Which I was.
Martin, I was waiting for... Hold on.
Hey, go on.
I'm chewing food, sorry. I was waiting for you to do the loud challenge. That's where you videotape yourself lighting up a joint in public. Like at a fast food restaurant or a store.
Prison if I did it there. I'm not joking.
Ace, he's in fucking England. Are you kidding? Oh my God.
Well, yeah, that's the whole point.
You can't even pull your penis out into there.
No, man. I'd be raped in about 10 seconds. I'd have no fucking chance. They're all fucking massive fucking... You seen Leicester? It's like Kingston. Something like that. Jamaica.
Yeah, don't even wear a Bob Marley t-shirt going out, right?
I got a Bob Marley t-shirt. I always wear it.
In Piccadilly, though? You're wearing Piccadilly, they might pick you up.
I don't give a shit. I don't wear swastikas anymore.
God bless the Queen. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, the fascist regime makes me wrong. The H-bomb. No, the future. I fucking love it.
Was that brilliant or what?
Fuck yeah. The best.
You know, I didn't hear the Bollocks album until I was 30 years old, Martin. This is the truth. You know, I'd always heard a tune or two, right? But I put this Sex Pistols, their only album. I put it on, and because, you know, they're a punk group, right?
Not the only album.
I put the motherfucker on,
Well,
and my mouth was on the floor the whole goddamn thing because it was rock and roll as far as I'm concerned. The lyrics were brilliant. The production was amazing.
Yeah.
I was expecting to hear some bullshit. They couldn't play, and thank God Sid Vicious isn't on it. But it's brilliant. No, it is brilliant. The song.
Why only one album?
That was their deal. They
did
actually
that album, but later they did the Great Rock and Roll Swindle, which is a bit of a montage.
Right. But that album was the original Sex Pistols, not the Sid Vicious.
Never mind the bollocks. Fucking brilliant. Every track is. And you're
truly,
right.
yeah. No, it
exceptional.
is. It is. I'd be a real snoot about it, and no, it is one of the great classics.
I like Parallel Lines as well, Blondie. That's excellent production. Parallel Lines.
Oh, she had a great drummer. I forget his name, but yeah,
I know.
Guitar player and drummer and that
was John Bonham. That guy off of Blondie. He dressed like a mod. And
he had red hair, didn't he?
Yeah. You know what you hear about good drummers. You never hear they had a really good bass player. I mean, unless it's somebody playing slap bass or something, but
True.
They were brilliant.
Traditional.
No offense to all my bass players out there.
No, I agree. There's a band I know called Kasabian, and what makes the band is this bass player. And he does this thing with the drums. I don't know what sound they got, but it's extraordinary. It's a brilliant band. Kasabian, have you ever heard of them?
Yeah,
They're a band from Leicester as well. Kasabian, have you heard of them? Shoot the Runner?
Yeah.
Shoot the Runner, Empire. Fucking awesome
I don't think I've heard any of the music, or maybe I have and just not related it to the name, but I've heard of the name.
They're brilliant. I got all their albums, everyone. I love them. There's not many contemporary musics out there that are any good. It's all fucking tainted, isn't it?
Oh, it is. Yeah, and the technology changed too. It got less warm. What's so interesting to me is that the more studios, home studios, more software. People have 3,000 tracks. Where are the albums though? Right? Where's all the creative work? I'm not saying there isn't. There always is great music.
Dark Side of the Moons. Where's the Walls? Where's the classic fucking changing albums? Even later on in the 80s, there was a few Wall, I suppose. It was a bit of
I'd love if they made shit like that nowadays.
I mean, they won't though. They got
Video Killed the Radio Star too. There's something about the visuals, not just promotional visuals, but just when you see people, they're all conscious.
Trevor Horn, he was fucking brilliant. That producer though, Trevor Horn.
Oh, Trevor Horn, yeah.
Do you know the video of the woman that was in the plastic fucking tube going like that with air going up it?
Now you're making me remember Spinal Tap.
She nearly died. Spinal Tap. I got the video on the film. I got it. It's fucking awesome.
Dude, I saw it when it came out, when everyone thought that was a real band.
Do you have it on VHS?
No. My amp goes up to 11.
Yeah.
Okay, 11.
Every line in that's a beaut, man.
I love it. Fucking. Who's that band you think that they think they are? Who they're?
Oh, it's a combination of Kiss. It's Jeff Beck as Nigel the Look. I
was thinking Van Halen.
There's Van Halen in there a little bit.
Between them.
They've got the Rolling Stones, obviously.
Didn't they do some live shows though?
Yeah, they did. They did a whole video on it.
They were musicians for real.
Yeah.
I understand the spoof parody, but didn't they actually become real musicians too?
Yeah, they were.
They were really good. They played Glastonbury about 2 years back. I watched it in front of 100,000 people. They were really good.
They played those old-time folk guys. They went the other way, and they played these bald, middle-aged guys playing the old folk tunes. It's incredible.
It is incredible.
Those actors with FCTV and Martin Short, some of them are in their middle age. They did these films where there's no script.
Did you ever see that Beatles parody called they made a film called the
Ruddles?
Yeah. Did you see that? The Ruddles?
I did, yeah. That was back in the 80s, I think. Yeah? Late 80s?
Fucking hell, man. That was classic. I only just remembered that since the time.
Yeah? It's a while back.
Fuck yeah. Wow. That was quite good. The Ruddles. Have you ever seen it, guys? It's fucking brilliant.
No.
Brilliant parody of the Beatles. Yeah, the Ruddles. Funny.
Yeah, people
Johnny
think
and
that-
Martin blazing up.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But I'm running
First time I've smoked with you guys live on air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's the way it should be, baby. It's pretty much every day, 35 years straight. That's what Louis Armstrong was basically a stoner himself.
I know he smoked a spliff every
But we
day.
have the same birthday, man. So proud of that.
Really? Louis?
Yeah,
Oh,
August
love
4th. Yeah, yeah, he's tremendous.
Friends shaking hands, saying, "How do you do?" They're really saying,
Man was a
"I
genius.
love you."
Not the same year though. He was born before you, right?
Wait, yeah, like 18.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
1901, I think.
Okay. I thought you were talking about somebody else for a minute. I was like,
No,
wait a
another
minute.
Leo, brother.
Even about
We got another Leo.
66, or he was in later films, 1966. He was still around, Louis, because he was in.
That's right. No, he's in 1971. He's still around.
Oh yeah,
He did Hello,
I'm trying to think
Dolly.
what film he was in. Hello, Dolly. Well done,
Yeah.
mate. He was in Hello, Dolly. Well, hello, Dolly. Well, hello, Dolly. It's so nice to have you back here where you belong. Good film. I used to love that. Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
Or Easter it was on. Oh, they used to. I was thinking they used to have like in the TV Times, which is when I was a kid, was a magazine for what was on the telly at Christmas time.
Like, see,
And
we
they
had
used
the
to have
TV guides.
seasons of James Cagney films or George Raft or fucking all the classic films or Bing Crosby and fucking Frank Sinatra season. And they would play the whole Christmas time. At about 11 o'clock they come on. I'd watch one after the other. And they haven't done nothing like that anymore. All them really cool ass films, Hitchcock season. You know? They'd never do that. Kelly's dead.
Changed, didn't it, with media?
Yeah, man, or reality, which is non-reality. Bitches crying and when they sing a song. Oh, it was so good. Everyone hugging one another. Fucking false as shit. Acting. Hate it. I'm all about like X Factor with Simon Devil Cole. She likes him. Oh, she hates him. Yeah, I hate him too. Cock. Richard Branson's supposed to be all right, you know. Apparently, a friend of mine met him. Worked all day with him. Supposed to be cool. I don't think so.
Is that an actor?
No, he owns Virgin Atlantic and Virgin Galactic and Virgin Records. It's a funny story about him. He grew up in a care home. Apparently, he was molested as a kid, and ends up one of the richest people on the plane. What's going on in here? Supposed to be alright, bro. He owns an island the stars go to, and it's called. I'll tell you now, guys. It's a real fucking sinister name. Remember Martin, you know. Anyway, he's got an island like Deception Island, but not with a really sinister name that people like Leonardo DiCaprio visit. Justin Trouser Snake visit. Loads of them. They're all in the same gang, you know. And I'm starting to think Megan Fox is a fella, you know. Now I'm looking at her. She have got a bit of a man face. She have said she's a bloke as well. So, he's a bloke. Damn! Gutted. I've dumped my Megan Fox collection. Oh, God. How did they put up with me, Gav? I don't know. Don't understand it. I'll tell you what, though. What? We're laughing at you.
You nutter. Oh dear.
Oh yeah, let's go and have a little blasting chat and see who's there then, shall we? Mate, Indica.
I closed.
Yeah, yeah.
Somebody watch.
Let's see what's.
There they. Oh, Tim Hatter. And John Watson, who's a lovely fucking bloke. And Angel Raven. Madame Medusa, lover.
Any shills in chat?
I did like Santa Spinati, Caveman. I did watch you for a bit. I gotta be honest. I was lost. Yeah.
And they're all shells,
I had
Ace.
to watch the stuff. I can't get it. I don't know what he's saying. Maybe I'm sick.
I don't know. I missed it. What was it about? I don't know.
Well, he's got the plane, but he's got 2 humps, and he looks like a McDonald's M. And I'm like, hang on a minute. If this is like some sort of dome, it wouldn't be in the shape of an M. And I can't work out the double torus of what he's trying to project.
Maybe he means that the dome is like a Jello mold or a bundt cake where it goes.
It looked like a butt.
Yeah, but when you circle that, you'll see the 3D shape. It's like a hill with a crater in the center.
I think I get it. I was trying to think of it.
I'm
like
just
that.
guessing. I haven't seen it. I'm just.
No, you're right, Dave. No, that's exactly what he's doing. No, I think about it.
Yeah.
Thanks. I get
Show.
it. He's clever.
No.
Sometimes he leaves me in a fucking stack. I don't know. He just start. Good though. I do like listening to him.
Yeah, this guy's flat.
Yeah. It was good the other night. I was in a fucking hangout, but I was with Kafaxis and I was with P-Maz, and we was debating and battering fucking Jeremy, fucking Gem Panda, and
I was in there with you, Martin.
Oh, you was there.
That sounds fun.
Oh yeah.
We were together and we was like awesome, and we were all thinking exactly the same, and we was really cool. I loved every second of it. I love it when flat earthers come together like that. So cool. I must be honest. They were fucked.
I think I was the last one standing with them at the
Oh
end.
yeah, you were the last one standing, JP.
Oh, we did a couple hours off air too.
Yeah? After I
Yeah.
shut off? Really? Oh wow. Yeah, they were getting annoying. That guy, Mark Taylor. Fuck me. He comes from the
yeah.
bottle of barrel, doesn't he? What a fucking knobby. Put up with him. I let him spin with it because obviously we needed that down negative side to fight, didn't we? And he projects it really fucking well. You know, disdain towards flat earth selves. You get him. Oh well. Synthetic Dread, who makes the coolest music in the world. You got a great song, guys. Have you heard it, Jibby? It sticks in your head. It's like a Zeppy sort of song. Exactly.
Yeah, you won't really get to me.
But not really. I think you got that song, T-Cell Sanctuary was a good song, wasn't it?
Star Trek phaser noises.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? I got nuclear bomb sounds on my phone.
You guys playing with sci-fi
fun?
toys.
I'm sorry, it stepped out from me.
Wow, what's that?
None of them are even the real voices. That's terrible.
I know.
What the hell?
Well, that's 1046.
What's that off the $6 million man?
Beam me up, Scotty.
Oh, I got laid for saying that once. I did. I said, "Don't beat me up, Scotty." And that was it. Whoa, I love Oh, that reminds me of that cake gameplay.
Ow!
That's loud. Wow.
I know. I love those.
Who's
I
doing
I just blew part of my laptop
Is that
off.
Johnny? Oh dear.
Oh, don't do that. Fuck me, Johnny. What's
Shit,
the
I
matter?
hate when that happens.
I hate that.
What happened, bro?
Dude, I hate you, Dan Pride.
Hellbilly, hellbilly.
Johnny's going nuts.
What happened? He blew his fucking half his laptop off. Put that gun down, John.
I have no idea. Oh my god.
I know.
As long as you didn't break the bong.
Shit my pants. Third pair today. I don't know why I said that.
So here's
Jam my poop pants, Jeremy.
Yvette. She's so
a stoner
beautiful.
flat earther can still enjoy the original Star Trek.
Oh yeah, I love.
Incredibly
Why
enough.
can't you? Why can't you?
Well, you know, a lot
I
of things
watched.
might be like
You watched.
sci-fi can be hard to watch.
It's almost even funnier.
I think they fashioned Captain Kirk after Admiral Byrd.
He wasn't the
Off of Lord Stephen Christ? Oh.
Oh, Lord. Why do you resist?
Admiral
I
Byrd,
cannot resist.
youngest admiral, Captain Kirk, youngest to become captain. You just take it from
You know the
land
first
based to
captain was?
space. It's kind of the same.
What? First captain of the Enterprise. Does anybody know?
The captain of the Enterprise.
Before.
Oh, Pike. Yeah.
Yes,
Oh, dude, I know the whole thing. It's sad.
yeah, he came in. You know about that? It's fucked up, isn't it? What he did to him. I don't really like that. But yeah, you're right.
Okay.
The actor actually, Jeffrey Hunter, died before the show had finished in '69. Yeah, strangely enough. But here's a little fact for you. You know, the very first pilot, they had two. The Cage with Jeffrey Hunter. That cost in 1964 November $650,000 to produce.
Fuck.
What?
Yeah, it was high budget
like
shit.
Millions, no man.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Sense.
Yeah. And the second one was like close to that, a little over $500,000, but not quite as much. And then each episode was about $250,000
Shit, they are real though.
per episode. Yeah, that was no Facts of Life. You know what I mean? Like a little sitcom or something. They had to build all the models. They filmed the shit in special effects. They had to build the sets in a way that are very different from, you know, a normal acting set.
Got it.
So, yeah, it costs a lot.
Whoa, it fucking was brilliant though. I love that Green Woman you went out with, Kirk. You ever seen the Green Woman? The way my mind thinks. I know. Green Woman.
Yeah, I met all those guys at the 76 Star Trek convention in DC.
Really?
Yeah. It's a little disappointing, though.
Why?
Well, because nothing looked the way the show did. They had an Energizer there that was different. They were older. It was, you know, I'm 11 years old or whatever I was, and it wasn't what you thought you'd see.
When did they do the first conventions?
Right
How
around
long
that time.
after the show started?
Oh, well, they had conventions in the early 70s, but they started joining just before Star Wars was going to be coming out. That's why Star Trek did the movie in '79. You know, it was like it's all money making shit. That they had the biggest fan base after the show was canceled. It was like a phenomenon. People found out about it after. I mean, Martin and I grew up with it as kids. It was on TV. You know, but it was already 10 years old. You know.
I mean, I grew up with it.
Mm-hmm.
So you love it, still do. Even though it's bullshit.
But look at all those shows that came after it. The Post, you know, I forget what they're called.
Galactica,
Deep Space Nine, and all that. But it looks so fake, and it just makes me wonder about CGI NASA, how that correlates. It got people to accept bad sci-fi. I mean, we had it better in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
And all of a
have
sudden,
you noticed, too, when NASA deliberately shows you what they let you know is going to be CGI, it looks so fucking cheesy. It's like, okay. And then they cut to what's supposed to be real, which is also CGI, but it's just better CGI. You know what I mean? When they let you know they're going to show you CGI, it looks like something out of the 80s.
Yeah. Well, we're kind of looking at 80s graphics. I don't know about where everybody lives, but most local news, when they show the maps,
Yeah,
Looks
can you
like
see that
looks like
yesterday?
80s graphics.
Yesterday, we seen it in a space center. There was you can go in there. There's a blue screen, and they show
Yeah.
you like the map, and the family was there, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so they're just showing you in like plain sight that this is the shit they're doing.
And don't get me started on Google Maps. The whole overhead thing is like completely CGI. All you have to do is look at trees and cars. They're all animated. You go down to the street. It's real. You go up, and you wonder how they have like every rooftop exactly as it is. Is it a photograph mixed with, it's hard to know, but it's not reality. It's not an actual photograph of aerial overlooking.
You're right. It's nuts.
I learned that from
Saying
looking at my
Google
home.
Maps is the aerial views are not real, genuine photographs.
Yeah, Jibby, where I grew up in Washington, D.C., Georgetown, I started going to Google Street. Mostly you go there to check things out, to find someplace. I went to go back to my hometown. So I'm going all around the streets, and I know it really well. And eventually they came up when you click back on your mouse to actually go up above the overhead. I'd go to the Key Bridge right over the Potomac River that overlooks Georgetown, Virginia. Wow. And I was noticing the cars were animated. They look like Monopoly cars, a little red and blue. And I was like, well, what is that? And I'm going over the whole town. You go down into it. It takes you to the street. It's real. You go up, and it's all animated. That's why a lot of the trees, wherever you go, look kind of, you go to Russia, you go overhead, it kind of distorts the trees really badly. The only thing that's ever real on CGI remotely is when you're like in a forest area of Russia and you see a little road and you go into the road, it's still animated. You go down into it, then you're back onto the real thing. But I'm telling you, from what I've seen, almost all aerial shots are CGI.
Wow.
That's weird.
My first two videos I ever put up were based on that from my cell camera. Like last year, when I started discovering that, and I was going to get into a big thing about it, but you move on with other shit and just accept that it is fake.
Fucking weird this is. Can I just say?
What are you saying?
I just click Google, right? They seem to anticipate what I'm interested in on my Google page. And this thing come up, the Great Greenland Meltdown Con. And at the top, it's a saying by Robert Oppenheimer. We do not believe any group of men adequate enough or wise enough to operate without scrutiny or without criticism. We know that the only group to avoid error is to detect it. The only way to detect it is to be free to inquire. We know that the secrecy, error, undetected will flourish and subvert. J. Robert Oppenheimer. Fuck me. That's fucking like a fucking flat earth fucking outing from my perspective.
Oppenheimer wrote a lot of very stunning quotes, or he's been quoted as saying some trippy stuff.
After the nuclear bomb test in Trinity, he said on television something from Mahabharata out of the Bhagavad Gita. He said that we have become the destroyer of gods, talking about the battle between Krishna and Arjuna. He was very versed in the Vedic scriptures. He studied them in university, but he was known to be a part of OTO as well. So, fuck, it's a complicated man.
Hey Martin, you know how we talked about Bill Maher before about his putting down the whole flat Earth concept on a recent thing, right? We all know this already. We're already down on this, but here's my question: with the world as it's posed, where men are going to space and everything is as it seems to be, as they say, why can't they prove us wrong in one day? Why can't they prove us wrong with the satellites, with showing us the Earth, showing us what we want to see? Because they're constantly telling us it's not possible, but they should be able to put us down in one day. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
when it comes to what they say that we're saying is, that we're stationary, they should be able to show us that we're totally wrong through photography.
They can't get up there.
Yes, you got to keep them to that word photograph.
That's the whole.
Because they'll like
right.
to stick images. Oh, there's plenty of images of the Earth from space that are real. Images.
Well, I guess I meant real time, like film. You know,
That million, the one they showed
That
on
you have-
Globebusters, that million miles out. What kind of fucking telescope could see the Earth that close up at 1,000,000 miles when they show you another image of the globe, which is like a couple of thousand miles out? 1,000,000 miles, and people are buying that shit.
Oh yeah, and guys, I'm real layman with all what you guys know. You have to understand I have a real subconscious kind of brain, and I'm not big on the math and the science, but okay, 93 million miles away with the sun, we all know that's impossible, but let's say it was 500,000 miles away. Human beings can't see 500,000 miles away.
No.
All right, Johnny, well, how far away is it? I'm like, well, I can't give you a number, but when I look at it, that's how far away it is. I know that's not an answer, but it's not that far away. I can't put the number on it, but it ain't 100,000 plus miles away. Humans can't see that far away straight up. We just can't.
No, we couldn't see that way laterally, could we?
No.
You know, if we could see through all of the obstruction of the atmosphere that we know about, and the atmospheric lenses and every fucking thing else, if we could see across it, we couldn't see 100 fucking miles.
But see, I understand it like a child would when you get it. You know, I don't understand the man stuff because, man, that gets into all the stuff. You guys are naming flowers I can't pronounce with the science. You know what I mean? I can't do it. But I dig the whole idea of what it's like. The moment that you realize you've been lied to so abundantly about galaxies, 1 trillion, billion light years out there, you're like, oh my God, you know, the measurements of all estimations are way off. Like even 9 million people being in Manhattan, I submit that's impossible.
I think it is too.
They are crazy. I mean, I know there are high rises there, but it's only 3 miles in circumference and it's crowded. But that's a lot of people. So everything's exaggerated by how we view a model of estimation. And when we examine things on our own initiative, like looking at an ocean, you guys know the argument. But you begin, if you can erode what math tells you, you begin to see more than what your mind will tell you. You have to actually be able to not be guarded by the educated profile of all things. And I guess I was able to do that because I tripped a long time ago and I sought truth and I didn't go with status quo. Plus, I don't understand scripture or math or science. Not to brag about it. My brain doesn't work that way. But when I feel that something's wrong with the big picture, man, dudes, that's where I'm right in. Because I care so much about truth, how it is for everyone, the way things actually are. Someone asked the other day, what is truth? Truth is just what actually is. There's no other alternative other than what it is. Like Manhattan isn't truth. The island is truth, but it has a counter reality on it. It has a city on it. Something was placed there. That's not what it was. You know, because pretty much from what I understand, Manhattan to Vermont is pretty much one long fucking forest going all the way up. I mean, they cut shit up, Niles and rivers and with machinery we're not even aware of. And speaking of maps, how the hell did they get the aerial view 700 years ago? So how can you measure it with ships, even on the ground? I'm not saying it wasn't done. I'm just, you know, from a practical standpoint, from pyramids on down.
Shoreline,
right.
How many miles you go, you draw that kind of line on your map as you're mapping along the shorelines.
Yeah, but they knew the aerial views of things, the tops of mountains from perspective of being overhead. Whether that existed in technology or it's matrix, I don't know. But none of it's honest. And look what we've got now. We've got disagreements about size and measurement. It's flat, it's round, it's flat. And what really matters is that we were lied to. I mean, I care about facts too, but...
Yeah, even if the Peters projection map is even remotely close to accurate, that changes the percentage of land versus water on the planet. If you're shrinking continents and making others larger, well, what's the true percentage of water versus land then? Do we even know?
No, and we don't, even with curvature. You know, it's as a globe, we don't know, and as a flat plane, we don't know. It's hard to perceive ever finding out, because if real truth-seeking flat earthers went on a ship and tried to do these things, I wish them all the luck. But my thought is that no man can perceive anything out in the ocean over all the weather systems, even with the technologies. We're just never going to get the totality of it. There's always going to be discrepancies in evaluating what's before us. So it's better to, it's better to just knock down the systems that have been locked into our systems of understanding, and understand that we're never going to really probably ever really know.
Like clones.
Are we okay with that? Because I'm definitely okay with that. I don't care what's in the Bible. If it rings true either way, I'm down on that. But to have people have to know the right combination to get to the promised land, or to know what truth is, we've all been lied to, is my point. That's all I'm saying.
About clones.
About clones, about Donny Osmond, yeah, about Bob Hope too.
Good old Bob Hope. Doing them soldiers a favor over there.
Yeah, he had all those mind control ladies.
Jesus.
The NSO.
He was sleeping with all them women, too, every night.
Oh, it was more than that. He was with little children almost all of his life. And he was selling human beings at auctions. And when you got a Donnie and Marie special, and you've got a Milton Berle, the beginning, what was he called? The Godfather, whatever. He's one of the first TV show hosts. All those shows, dressed as a woman like Bugs Bunny, and you've got the Gong Show. All those shows, all the variety shows, they're all set up for nefarious operations underneath it. They got everybody dumbed down.
Auctions under there.
It's serious how they moved and shaped the world with that kind of entertainment, and operated wars behind all of that. And slaves, auctions every day, possibly under the floor of the very show they were telecasting from.
Yeah, just because.
Speaking of Seth MacFarlane, he has touched on those auctions, selling things off.
And his shit's always legit. All those little secrets they put in there, he's hit on a lot of truths that you never would have known.
And speaking of,
go back, rewatch it.
How do you think Tiger Woods got to be what he was? He was programmed
with a little bit of Bob Hope
as an infant through Bob Hope's people. He's actually on the one of the shows. It's not David Frost. It's one of them.
Carson.
Not Carson. It's another one. It escapes me right now. But he's with his father, Bob Hope, and Mike Douglas. Mike Douglas show. And yeah, he does magic tricks with the golfing, but he's in a trance while doing it at the age of 3. So, comedy's not pretty. I hate to say it, but the whole business of the professional comedians is really part of that infringe, of very unkind doings to human. That's why when you laugh at I'm just saying, you got a banana peel, the guy slips, everyone laughs. That shit was set up for us to be blinded by what was going on around politically and otherwise. I'm not talking about humor. I'm talking about comedy, the business of comedy. It's an ugly, ugly thing. It's the commercials you guys see, the families where they wrote the dumb dad and they're in the kitchen and he falls out the window, whatever the commercial is. It's all that. That's comedy. It puts humans down. It desensitizes the perception of real people. That's evil shit, and it's hard working in the entertainment workflow of comedy. Once you open up certain doors, you can't go back. Andrew Dice Clay was another guy who was there to break the ice in the 80s and say shit you could never say before. Do you guys remember him?
Oh, yeah.
He had, I'm not going to repeat it, but he has a line that he would open up with that's so dirty, and yet it's hysterical. You guys would laugh if I said it, but it's absolutely, and it's a desensitizing. Huh?
Is nursery rhymes?
No,
we got to hear it now. Come on,
all right. You want me to do it? All right. Well, I'm not doing it to be funny. I'm doing it to just illustrate.
Yeah, no,
This is really
I don't know
dangerous
it.
shit. Well, once you hear this, once it's on that level, then other comedians were doing it, and it's like where hard rock, heavy metal, black metal, it gets harder, louder, more, more intense and more desensitizing. All right. So he opens up his show. 5 minutes. He's putting his leather jacket collar up. He's taking a lot of time adjusting himself. Huh? He's fucking lighting a cigarette with a 20-foot flame that goes up, taken from Jerry Lewis. Lights a cigarette, turns around. So I had my tongue up this chick's ass. And she turned around and said, "Hey, do I know you?"
I know you.
I said, "Hey, what's the difference, baby?" That was the opening joke.
Classic. Yeah, how many times have we all had to say that? It's a shame.
It's a long way from Bob Hope, but it's all tied in, And there's no going back.
It's good stuff. So, and now, just look at primetime television, how just raunchy it is. And yet, they're trying to censor the dumbest shit off, like YouTube, for instance,
I know.
and the internet in general. Like, there's all these weird things you're like not allowed to say now online. It's just look into it. It's crazy. But yeah. Oh, you're possibly not going to be allowed to have your own personal nude pics online as well, because it might be under some kind of indecency act. I think that's what it's called. Check it out. No more dick pics.
How the hell are they going to police
No
that?
more porn, then, yeah?
I don't know.
All into the same category. One rule for a private person,
Like
another rule for
Europe.
Europe
Just passed laws about certain kinds of porn are no longer legal. Like anything involving incest, or that could be construed as incest. Stuff like that.
What's that about then?
I don't know.
When I was
If you're gonna watch porn, you might as well be moral while you do it.
I can do it, man. It's always so tacky there and it's fucking sick shit. It's slavery. I don't like it.
Good, clean, moral XXX. Yes.
I don't mind like the mild.
Only missionary porn from now on. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
Like the 70s with a nice 45-minute story.
Let's keep the animals to a minimum.
But in the 70s, all that hair, like,
Oh
pretty
my
much
God!
covered
The
up
guys
their
were
privates.
bald, but they had all the hair on the rest of their body, right?
And the woman that big bushy fishy things. Where they go? Where's the bushy things?
Wait, were all guys just hairier, or did they hand select hairy guys?
They were, dude.
Or were
Almost
they all
75% of them were were bald with big mustaches, hairy shoulders, and hairy everything else.
Yeah, man.
Classic. That's the good old days. That's
I know.
Times Square the way I loved it.
The other side of the world is fucking crazy. We've done the same thing. Weird. What? She's not about
We should go back to that.
I don't fucking know. Don't worry. I was just looking on Google Earth. You're right there, Johnny. It's shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's so fucking shit. I don't live on that.
Tripping.
I'll be more tripping, won't I? How can they map under the sea, though? It drives me fucking nuts. What's the mid-Atlantic? What drives me nuts, right? They say there's a mid-Atlantic rift. They say there's mountains higher than Everest. So you can imagine valleys of high mountains with Atlantic. Yeah. When they lay transatlantic cables, like they started with the Great Eastern, that was the first one laid down for the telegraph to connect Europe to America, to alert the Titanic. First one was ever used. Bit of history. And then after they've laid down all these fiber optics, if you look online, there's fucking millions of them worldwide, all under the seas. How do they get them to lay in Do they lay down in the valleys and go up a mountain and back over? How does that work? Or are they straight propped over the mountain? This boggles the mind, doesn't it? Are they just lying, aren't they? It's probably flat, smooth. No mountains. Have we been down there, mid-Atlantic? Probably flat. But there it is. In the Pacific, when you go on Google Earth, there's a wall. The starts in Alaska and goes all the way to Antarctica. I'll find it. You know, blow your mind.
Yeah, I saw
the
that
whole
video.
Pacific. Have you seen it there, Gav?
Yeah. But
I can
it's
find it.
CGI.
I can find it.
It's not real. It's CGI. How can we take
CGI,
a
but it's the wall.
CGI image of the ocean and say that it's a real wall? And we can't.
I got it straight away.
It defeats the object. It defeats the object, mate.
What fucking thing? Take this a fucker. I'll get off it now. No, they're motherfuckers. But it goes better because you can see the three-dimensionalism of it. This wall.
Yeah,
It's
but
like
it's
down-
not real. It's CGI.
I know. Why did
Yeah,
they put it in though?
exactly. Yeah, exactly. So it goes against what we stand for.
Yeah. All the way to Antarctica. There's the line there. I wonder where it stops. New Schwabenland. Of course it does. Of course it does. There's gaps in it. Fucking nuts. A wall. Why would they want us to think that? Wow. It's so straight.
Let's see.
Hmm?
Maybe ancient aliens built the wall,
I was a purveyor.
according to ancient astronaut theorists.
I hate when they say that.
Yeah. Sucralose. Giorgio Sucralose, isn't it? He says that. They all say it, actually. I don't like that fucking...
It's like, how many times could they say it per episode? And
Oh,
like,
that's a drinking game. It's a
yeah.
drinking game.
Oh, that's a drunken game.
Yeah. It's like ice wall. You gotta take a drink.
Oh.
Kids
What
are
did they
showing up
exactly
to
say
the
to
hospital in number records. Following a popular drinking game based on the popular show Ancient Aliens.
Yeah. Ooh, I just found a pyramid in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. It is a
Oh,
pyramid.
there it is. We're on a ball.
Proof of aliens.
Middle of the Pacific. I'm so old. I'm going back to the...
How do they got such resolution under there?
You're on a
How are we
massive
seeing
stage.
that? Huh?
Geophys.
I can't see the bottom of my hot tub sometimes.
Exactly, right?
Of the Pacific. They are lying. They haven't done every inch of the Pacific. It's a too big a body of water. Do you have any conception of how big the Pacific Ocean is? Anybody? I know how big the Atlantic is, and it's so big, guys. When you're out in it scares the fucking bejeepers from you.
Yeah, it
because
does.
it's
Oh, man.
so big. I can't tell you. And the Pacific is a lot bigger.
You know they're fucking with us when they've got astronauts in space stations wearing golf shirts. I mean, there's just something wrong with that alone.
I don't care what they say about them being hatch seals and it's all perfectly safe. They got hoses running from compartment to compartment. You have a matter of seconds to close the hatch seals. It's bullshit.
And Jimmy, you got to be able to aim right if you want to go to the bathroom. I mean, one wrong move. Have you seen those things?
Oh yeah, a
Oh
little
my God!
smelly.
That's what we got in 2017. Really?
Skylab had a working shower. They've downgraded.
Yeah. I'm going to find you with G-Man now. I'm going with
And a bidet with heated water, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh.
Mount Suribachi.
And little droplets going everywhere.
Oh, I'm such a fucking geek.
They just toss caution to the wind. They're doing haircuts. I mean, really, you're gonna have a nice haircut. You have hair flying everywhere, and then
Yeah, and the
water.
dudes are always perfectly shaved. I cannot get my face to look perfectly like white skin shaved but for like 30 minutes after a shave. You know what I mean? And I can't do that every day either. It's like a
Dude, Ace, you don't have a
it's like a
makeup room.
10-minute window, huh?
You need a makeup room and 5
Yeah.
tags going over you.
But these astronauts, are they just shaving like every day? I mean, with
No,
shaving
would you really
cream.
be doing that up there? No.
No,
That's
no.
bullshit.
I would try to not fart too much too.
Wow, can you imagine it poison you out, wouldn't it? It just,
I don't know what it would do. I don't want to find out.
For days, it lingered for days, probably. What are they going to do? Vent it out into the atmosphere outside? It's nuts. No,
I don't know.
think about it.
But the smell is literally tiny, microscopic particles.
Think about what
it's just going to be floating there.
Now they say they're breathing a mixture of oxygen, nitrogen, and CO2. Okay, to get by. But when you think about the fucking concoction, now they only just got that right. They actually incinerated a crew, right, with the oxygen content being so high. The mixture was wrong, and they incinerated them. It just blew, and they were dead. About 4 of them. One of them was that.
Who was this?
A NASA mission. They were in basically one of the pods from on top. They were all in there. I think. Let me tell you, one of them who was not Shepard, the one who was going to spill the beans about something. His name. They tried to kill him twice. Once when they failed to pick him up when he came down from a mission, he was in one of those. You see the limb that's coming into entry, and then it's in the sea with parachutes, and they come along later and pick it up. You ever seen that with these Apollo missions? Well, they failed to turn up, and he nearly drowned. That was the first time, and then later, then they incinerated him. I'll look it up now and find out for you.
Yeah, he hung the lemon on the capsule, didn't he?
Did he? I'll tell you now his name. I can't remember. It's on the tip of my tongue. Fucker. I can't remember this. I gotta know though, because it just bugged me all fucking night. Ace, you're on the internet. It's fucking nuts, isn't it? Wow.
What's that about? What are you looking at?
Ace the Cloud. Famous Ace. Look, you're on the internet, brother. In Wales.
Holy shit.
Oh,
that's crazy.
It is crazy. I see like fucking. They play my video on Globebusters tonight. Of yesterday. I was so chuffed. Right, yeah, I'm on Globebusters.
Sweet.
I know. I'm sweet as fuck. I love it. Bob plays it. Nice Bob. Do love boy. I tell you what, Rob Skeeper's fucking conferences in Amsterdam. You check them out, guys. They're fucking awesome.
Yeah, he does a good presentation for if you believe the Bible is literal. I don't see how you could watch his presentation and not be a flat earther afterwards. I mean,
I thought that.
You would have to say the Bible is not literal. You'd have to change your mind, you know. So he's doing a good job.
He's doing a good job. I really do like him. I was fucking awesome. Do you know what? I seen online yesterday, guys, right? Some guy who was, I don't know, he's like a YouTuber famous, done his shill list, right? And all the flat earthers was on it, like, not you. I don't know, he might have been, but all the flat earthers, like the usual suspects, Mark Sargent and all of that. And at the bottom, he said, and these are the people that I think are definitely not, right? Chills, and it said Rob Skeeper, David Weiss, and Martin Liedtke. Yes, I can't remember who it was now. It was a good video, it was long. But he called everyone out and he said I was alright. Yes.
Yeah, but did he provide any proof? No, it's all opinion based, so it's all bullshit, really.
Yeah, my mother's not even real, she's CGI.
That's why it does my head in. They can all accuse and all this and all that, but none of them have got proof of anything. So they may as well just shut the fuck up because it's meaningless and it pisses me off.
The actual face. I know I'm meeting. You like me, right, Gav? Who's like me? There's Ace, look, he's in Wales. He's so famous. Ace McCloud, you see that? Wow. How it's mad, isn't it, Ace? Ace McCloud, 1,300 views. Streamed 3 months ago. Me, no, I'm not on it. Simply Baby, Event Baby, or just all the babes, obviously. You know.
Well, of course.
Fucking loads that is, Ace. Fucking 1,300 watched that. So you was some good shows, so over time.
Man, yeah, I wish I could go back through them all. There's so many of them were so damn long, but there was a lot of real good parts I would like to consolidate.
I probably got a lot of them, mate. I've downloaded every fucking one of them, really. Only I have. I got stacks of them. I just download all the cool shit. I always do, daily. Oh, I got 2 terabyte data drive there I'm trying to fill up.
There you go. How much you got now?
So, another fucking 2 terabytes. You can put a lot of terabytes.
You've filled up 2 terabytes?
No, about 1 so far.
Okay.
Video.
That's a fucking lot.
It wouldn't really be that hard, though, would it? Really, there's enough content out there.
Oh yeah.
That is decent enough, and presents facts, and anything that's opinion based. It's not even worth watching.
Anyone seen X2Base video? The album today? All these music tracks put together on one album.
I saw that uploaded this morning, but I've not gone near it yet.
The first one, he's like calling everyone out, like Patricia's on there. Antonio, believe it or not.
Is this a new song?
New song. I've never seen it before. Yeah, for the album.
It's compilation, isn't it?
It's just a bunch of hate speech, or what?
Yeah, one of them is a Hitler fucking loving song. Another one's like him having mashed mushrooms, really psychedelic.
Wow. Okay.
All the videos we've seen in the past, but a couple of newies, and it's all just videos. But
so are they all Dubé's material, or are they other people's?
Yeah. One of them's like he says that he had a dream that he was going to take down the New World Order himself, and they were going to kill him. You ever heard that song?
No. Oh shit.
Yeah, I'll bring it up. Yeah. I'll do it on there and put it in the fucking chat for you. I was watching it earlier, so it's like in my history. It's funny when you see all the flat earthers all across the plane gets the same videos. I noticed on Bob's tonight down the side when you see all the recommendations, it's the same ones as I have. So we all get the same stuff. Weird, isn't it?
Content that's coming out though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Gav, I noticed this. Yeah. They got it. Eric Dubé Flat Earth Movement album. I'll give you a link.
I get stuff being recommended to me from a year and 2 years ago that's flat Earth related, and I think, what the heck, man? And a lot of them I did download, and I've got them in a folder, but it's been that long since I've been near them. I've probably forgotten what's in them. I should really rewatch them. And I mean, some of that beginner stuff from 2 years ago. That was incredible. It really made.
I got some stuff from SCTV. Aces on them too.
A lot of what's coming out now recently is all like speculation and hypothetical and opinion based, and it's no good. It's no good. It doesn't prove a thing.
Yeah, we actually don't know anything, do we? Can prove what we say, but we got iron conviction, and we know there's something happened. It ain't a ball. That's for sure.
Yeah, we know that for a fact.
They can't get up there. It's impossible. Literally impossible for anything organic or anything they can make or build, even though they try as hard as they can. They can't get into there. There's something, what they call a Van Allen belt. Some sort of barrier. I do believe that they did try bombing it. I don't know if they were nukes, maybe thermobarics or something like that, or some technology. We don't know. During the rainbow bombs in the early 60s, when Russia and America started shooting upwards. Now, they said it was atmospheric testing. They said that this shit caused EMP blasts, which blacked out Hawaii, some of the East Coast, and a lot of Pacific area. So they realized that nukes caused EMP, and that's when they discovered it, and they done loads to shoot them up. No, they were trying to break through, I believe.
Maybe the EMP was trying to get through what they think is an electromagnetic force field.
That's what I'm trying to suggest.
Because you would think with enough starting velocity, you should be able to get pretty far out there, unless it's something physical, like what slowed that rocket down, possibly in that one video.
I seen that. GeoShifter posted, yeah. It looked like it hit
Yeah, the go fast.
Yeah.
Because they went pretty fucking high, and all of a sudden.
They try to say that it has a retro spin.
No, it didn't, though. I looked into that, too. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, it didn't have any of that kind of shit. And plus, they were going for the altitude record. There'd be no reason to have anything on it that would slow it down in any way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Aye.
And,
But to get up to 73 miles in like a minute? I don't know.
I mean, you see how fast that thing took off? Way faster than a normal rocket takes off.
Yeah, but it's not like a bullet speed because you wouldn't be able to visually watch it, would you? So, what speed is it actually doing? Are we talking 1,000 miles an hour, or are we talking 700? Because I believe it's 1,000 miles an hour. Concorde goes that speed when it's hitting Mach 1 year, the sonic boom.
Yeah, you'd think we'd have heard a sonic boom if the rocket was going that fast.
Wouldn't you?
It looked like it was going pretty fucking fast, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Sucker got up there.
Yeah.
It went up higher than most NASA launches go with their fucked up curve, and they're taking off at 5 miles an hour to start. So things looks like it can barely lift off the ground.
You know what? I'm quite
most of them. Rocket launches, it's like Jesus. Looks like it's so overweight. It's just funny.
What's this like, guys?
Okay.
Oh, this.
You a miner? You're one of the CERN tunnel miners?
Well, of course I'm a fucking miner. I'm from a country full of miners. What's a fucking... No, it's basically when I read late, it's like my little reading torch. I've always had one of these.
What's the red for?
Because I'm a child and it takes me back. Because I used to.
That's for when he's off his
I walked on the street coming back from a fireworks display and I had a torch to change colour. It had a blue slide, a yellow slide. You know, you could change the colour. And the dog next door was a crazy bastard with crazy eyes. And he seen my torch and he jumped on me and tried to bite my fucking face. He jumped on my back, he put his teeth in my coat and he ripped it right the way down.
You shank him?
My back. No, my mother had it put fucking down. Bastard evil thing. My father went nuts. He came home from sea. So that dog is fucking crazy. Kill it. So I'll fucking kill it. They had to kill it. Bastard. Yeah, he hated me.
I'm sure the homeowners were pleasant people.
No, they weren't. This was one unhappy house. My mother literally found her hanging. No, poisoned in the chair. How did you die, man, when you found her dead?
Jesus.
Bottle of tablet. I was at sea. I phoned my mother. She said, Mrs. Edwards is dead. I found her dead in the chair. She'd had a bottle of tablet. I'm like, right. Life is like... Yeah, would you be frightened to go in there if someone dead? Because the next door neighbour to me was petrified to go in there. I wouldn't want to either. Fuck that shit.
No, not
open their eyes
after.
or something and go. Like, I don't like mirrors, man. What if they don't do what you want? What if you like went or something stupid and it didn't do it? We're like, oh fucking hell! There's another dimension in the mirror.
Yeah. Who do you tell, huh?
Yeah, I'd fucking hate it. That's what some people do not put mirrors in their bedrooms. I don't put mirrors. I knew a guy called Paul who used to put tape on his mirror because he was frightened he might slip through into another dimension during the night. I understand that completely.
That's some fucked up shit, man.
He did go to a mental health doctor that's about 4 doors down. There's a clinic 4 doors down for mental health patients, so you see them all going in there.
No more movies for that guy.
No. Paul was nuts, but he was very entertaining. He was a double of Freddie Mercury, believe it or not, and used to wear a really tight, ultra-short pair of Speedo shorts from April to October. They were fucking awful. Paul, your bollocks are hanging out. Oh, yeah. And he'd leave them there. Yeah. Strange. Used to do a good impersonation of Silence of the Lambs. I'm looking for buds in a box in a jar of trim, or I think you call it offcuts or whatever, or keef in America. Basically, the bits that come off the buds. You know that? So I'm picking
Oh,
through
you
it.
got some teeth?
Yeah, I'm
Crystals.
picking
Oh,
through it, and
man.
there's a load of like bud in it. I just
That
found
stuff
one.
is awesome.
It is
How
though.
much did you have, Johnny? Did you end up with a lot?
It is strong as well.
Of keef?
Yeah.
Never. No, just a little bit.
Oh,
A rare thing around here.
I figured them nugs would have been frosty.
Oh, that kind of thing. No, I didn't make my own, but I've bought it before.
Oh, I get big bags for nothing. This stuff's oily as fuck. It's covered, I swear to God. All of it. Covered in oil glands. Really glistening too. When I got like a micro fucking scope when I looked at it, it's fucking covered. It was from a good strain, this one, though.
Backhounds.
I keep forgetting I'm live on there, you know.
What are you smoking then at the moment, Martin?
I don't know.
Tobacco.
It's a banging cheese thing. It is a banging cheese thing.
What's your favourite strain?
Kush.
Yeah, there's all sorts. What type?
Probably Violator Kush.
Violator.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's a nice earthy taste.
Violet is supposed to be broad crystal, isn't it?
Yeah, man. It's very pleasant, very nice earthy.
Crystal in Amsterdam.
Very banging.
Hey, Martin.
Yeah.
Has it always been plentiful for you there in England, and has it always been high quality with a bad decade?
Yes, it is for me, and I'm making my business not to run out. So no, I never run out.
You had people you knew, obviously. You keep close to that.
Yeah.
Exactly that. Yeah. So I never run out, and I always have the best because I'm making my business too. But yes, it is plentiful and is everywhere. You're quite
Not
right.
what you know, it's who you know, isn't it, Martin?
Did you have dry times like 20 years ago? Like, just.
Oh, I went to watch John Martin in a concert one night, and we were all smoking shitty Lebanese with no fucking strength in it. The blonde hash, yeah. Really not strengthful at all. And John Martin came on, and he was smoking a fat spliff of black ash, and it wafted through the arena, and everyone went, "Oh, this was really nice."
Wow.
He passed it to the audience. A guy I knew fucking from this pub, like, he grabbed hold of me, he was like, "Yeah, that's John Martin. He's dead now. Do you know John Martin, anyone? I'd rather be the devil." No? Solid there?
My favourite strain has got to be cheese, man.
No.
Cheese all the way.
I don't even know why. I do love it, but I don't know why they went with that taste.
It was a mutation. It was a genetic mutation. That's why.
I know what it was.
It was a complete accident, but then they made the strain out of it because it fucks you up. And I like it because of the aftertaste. The aftertaste in my mouth.
I'm not lying.
30 to 45 minutes after, I can still taste it. You know, when you cough and things like that. You know.
You can. It's lovely. You know, yeah, I get it.
And I know a good kush you could probably try. I don't know if you've had it. It's called Holy Grail. I had it last week or the week before. I think it was.
Week. But it was tasty. I had it last week.
It was some good stuff. If you can get Holy Grail, try it out.
I've never heard of that, Gav. I'll have a look. Yeah. Yesterday was nice. My boy had blueberry and OJ Kush. Cherry OJ Kush, which is really tasty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, luckily for me, my cousin does it, so.
Yeah, I got some in the family too.
Quite easy for me to get it.
Yeah, I was like when I was 14. I was probably the most well-connected 14-year-old in the city. I'm not joking. I can't see what I was doing, but I was shifting. I'm not joking.
Runner boy.
Yeah, exactly that. Exactly that.
Yeah.
I had my roots. I go through the snow, thick snow, all weather, dropping off. I tell you what, I can't even tell you online what I'm talking about. I can't. It's fucking my age. I mean, from 8 in the morning, like it was the hardest lifestyle ever, but they had big speakers on the wall, reggae, constantly playing. And I would just sit there basically on the dips all day. Yeah. weighing up, weighing up, weighing up. Come in, next one, weighing up, next one, weighing up. I was only 13, 14 then. But I would have off each pound, it would be an ounce, 3/4, an ounce over, like that. So out of like 20 pounds, it would be like, mine.
Yeah.
Afghani black.
Nice, man.
One split. I'm telling you, this weed would make you trip your conkers off uncontrollably. Like, I didn't even like it at first. I mean, it was too heavy. My auntie Gane used to say, don't tell me you gave him a bong of that fucking black, please don't tell me that. And yeah, I mean, I would lay down in hell. My brain would split apart. I could literally feel it. I did, well, once I was sitting on a bus going home with a friend, and my brain sort of split apart, and so did the bus. And I looked down, I could see the road, and my friend sat across the road in the bus. Right the way clear, the full length of the bus, it split into two. I'm like that, observing the brakes. This is not weed. That's how hard you trip on this weed. I would be out for days on 2 bong. He used to say, this is the cure. I'm talking about my uncle. I would lift my head up, have another bong. So I would be like, and it was quite cruel, be thinking I'm 13, 14. Yeah. And I would like another bong. He'd say that would be the cure to level you out when you were really fucked up.
No,
that would make me fat for 3 days.
Do you think it's possible? Do you think it's possible the weed could have been laced? Because they did that in New York.
I thought it all my life, Johnny. Yes, I thought it all my life. It was spiked. I was tripping every fucking time, mate. Every time I would trip. Hard. I mean,
that's not normal with even any kind of strong cannabis.
I've never had no
trip B, but not really trip.
I think it was the Afghani bat we had. It was known all over the city. People used to come from far and wide for it. It was minging. I mean, it was almost moldy. You break it open and the smell. It was like neck, if you've ever seen real Nepalese. It was outstanding. I used to eat considerable amounts of it. And I'd have a blim about that big. And I can't tell you the state I would fucking be in. I did it on the ship once, right? We got busted by the drug squad on the ship. And I'm sat in the toilet and not only eating my stash of weed, I'm eating my cousin's. He got about 3/4 of an ounce. And I'm sitting there on the toilet rather than flush it. And I thought, well, fuck, I ain't chucking this away. Before they come through that door, I'm going to eat as much as I can. I start eating it. This is import as well. They're like, I think it was Germany. Eating all the weed, goes back into the mess. I haven't come through yet. Says to my cousin, he says, you got my weed safe, Matt? I said, yeah, I got it safe. Yeah, he goes fucking mental. I fucks off. I goes down onto what's called the tween deck, which is a deck really down low in the ship, right, which is where they have the infirmary and shit. Found myself a cabin full of bed sheets and stuff, laid down in this bunk, covered myself over with blankets, and passed out. The ship's company was searching for the city for me for 3 days.
3 days?
Yeah, the police and everything. I shit you not.
You were out for 3 days?
Yeah. I shit you not. The first thing I did when I woke up is I stumbled into the fucking mess hall, into the galley, grabbed the chicken leg, come into the mess. They all was like that, mouth open. I was like, what's up? Starving hungry.
Oh my God.
I said I was in the sleep downstairs, passed out on our weed diet. They thought I was dead somewhere or in the sea, you know, gone.
Wow.
3
motherfucking days, man.
3 motherfucking days out.
Yeah. I want some of that shit.
Sleeping, unconscious, gone. Bye. I did eat a lot of weed. It was probably about, well, over an ounce. And that's insane. And it was all different mixtures as well, like, you know, bits of this, bits of that we'd collected in Amsterdam, you see. You know, for the next voyage, as you do. And it all, yeah. Yeah, the things I've done. I know. I used to always have my headphones on really loud, listening to Frank Zappa. And the captain came up to me once. He said, Martin, do you ever get worried about the general alarm going off? I said, no, not really, because everyone would be running around panicking because it'd be dying, wouldn't it? Mm-hmm. So yeah. I'm sure I'd notice. In Hamburg, listening to Voodoo Child, Jimi Hendrix blasting is a good memory. I love that morning. Listening to Electric Ladyland out on deck.
Oh, I love that album.
Oh, mate, I remember that day so well. It was so cool that day. I don't know why. It just was. Do you love my music? It brings a certain memory, doesn't it? Music.
Oh, it sure does.
Do you remember?
A feeling. September. I'll be dancing in the... Oh, that's a nice big one. When I was seeing... They're back out now, Earth, Wind and Fire. You know that, do you? They were quite good. Their lyrics were quite good. Quite tuned in, I think. I tell you, it was a really transcendental band. Was Yes. They were so transcendental. And Moody Blues.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
never heard of them.
Yeah, Nights in White Satin.
Yeah, you've heard them.
Letters I've written. Never
Just didn't know it.
I'm just a singer in a rock and roll band. I can assure you, not all Welsh people are like me, so don't worry. I'm not a bad advert for my country, don't worry. I'm not. It's just flat earthness. I notice everyone in the flat earthers turns on. That's such a glorious thing, man. I love that. Yay. My kind of people.
What is Welsh's main export?
Sheep. We do a good industry
Wool.
in copper.
Well, yeah, well.
Or music. We do a lot of music. We got Shirley Bassey, Tom Jones, Charlotte Church.
Rain boots.
We've invented quite a bit of the world, actually. We've invented the World Wide
Rain
Web.
boots.
So,
What do you mean,
Wellies. That's Wellington. He's from Devon. I think. Henry Tudor. So we invented the Protestant religion. Oh, yeah.
Nice.
That's it. Wait for them rock cakes. Fuck that shit. Or, I had a good joke, but I can't say it on there. It was about Roman Catholics. It was really bad, though.
Oh, why not?
All right, then.
Yeah. Earmuffs.
There's this kid, right? He's a choir boy, and he says to his friend, he said, I got to go in there now to confession, and the priest, he does things to me, but he gives me something. He said, what do you give me? He says, pack of crisps and a Coca-Cola. Oh, dear, never mind. It's shit. It goes on more like that. I forgot it. My friend told it to me the other day. But I was laughing when he said that. I'm not good at telling jokes, Ace. Especially at stupid o'clock. And I'll say
4:35.
What time is it in your state?
7:35.
Are you sort of mountain time or eastern or
Yeah, mountain.
time?
Mm-hmm. Right next to Central.
Cool. I get you. So vast, America, isn't it? It's incredible.
Oh yeah. It's got 5 time zones, doesn't it?
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. It's just them vast wildernesses in the west that just go on forever. Completely flat. With them beautiful shaped stones. I wonder what forces created them. You've seen Wild West films, them
Oh, there's a place right beside me called Garden of the Gods. Have you ever heard of that one?
No, but that's the sort of thing I'm on.
It's amazing. It's all these rocks stacked on top of each other. You know how them people balance rocks, right?
Oh, I think I fucking know.
But it's giant boulders, and it's like they're all stacked in columns, and it looks unnatural.
Wow.
It's fucking
How did
trippy as
that
fuck.
happen?
I don't know. No idea.
Is it? Because that wouldn't be stacked like that. So
Yeah, just Google it. Garden of the Gods, Colorado. It's crazy.
Wow. Colorado's a really interesting state if you think about it. You got so much going on about the ancient times. There's a lot of Asian stuff in America. You know, when you look at them people in the Sedona Valley, what they call the Anasazi, is it? Indian? They lived in Rock
Sounds right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they worshipped the ant people. Excuse me, my God, me calling. Go ahead.
Back when you had to play a video game from start to finish in one sitting.
Yeah.
That's where some of them Nintendo games were harder than the modern shit, you know. Nowadays, the video games are, it really just kind of walks you through, you know.
Yeah.
You don't really play it like you used to.
You got arrows and doors that flash. And, it's very easy.
Tap X now. It's like, I tapped X now when you said, yay, I'm doing it. It's like, what the fuck? That's not... It's nothing. Tap X. Oh, X. Now tap Y. Fuck. Like, that's the game. Alright, whatever. So what was Globebusters about today?
No idea.
I know that fucking
Selfism.
Yeah.
But they were going about gyro quite a bit, which is quite interesting. And some guy was doing about parallax and the star formation in the North Pole was really interesting. When he spinned the camera on a thing called a Sally, which is like a spinning. The parallax literally twisted. Now I don't know what forces might have created that. That's what circumstances would.
Well, no, that's more like what we should see if you're on the outside of the ball spinning, looking up.
Ace,
You're not going to see those rings. I've been trying to tell people that. Now, it's so hard to visualize or come up with something as a visual aid. It's real hard. I'm glad someone's trying to do that. Because the star trails are not what we would see on a spinning ball, period. People like to think that that's what you would see, but it's not. You'd see ovals and crossing lines.
When did you win that?
What's that?
12. Oh, I told my brother, yeah. It's
I have to wait till go on.
Sorry, I'm just my mate. I was talking to him. Sorry, sorry. I know what am I like.
Is he a flat earther?
Are you a flat earther, Matt?
Whatever you are, man.
Yeah, he's flat earther.
What was that? Whatever you are.
Well, it ain't a ball, is it?
I don't understand it.
I know he said to me he doesn't understand it. I tried to explain, but like, you know, where'd you start? Heliocentric model, spinning around the sun, 63,000 miles an hour, on a ball, water, curves, doesn't move, water is at rest. What gets me, right, is in a photograph earlier, right, of a skyscraper, and they had a pool on top, and it occurred to me that how still that water is in comparison to the speeds that they say we're doing, yet that water stays completely at rest and unspoiled, yet the Earth is spinning at 1,000 miles an hour and 250,000 miles an hour, and respectively breakneck speed into infinite space, they say.
Yeah, I mean, you would think that some sort of wave motion would be created, but it isn't. Ever.
It's just completely still. Think about it.
Mm-hmm.
I know. It just occurred to me as I looked at it. I thought, fuck me, that's like real giveaway, actually. It is. There's been a few globe killers. I think they just kill a globe over and over again. I really do. I've done it a couple of times myself when we've done our sun tracking. Really pulled it out to the bag. Those things was just not possible. You know? Like sun set in one place and sunrise in another place, and you check it on a globe and it was a couple of 1,000 miles off of this
I can't remember what happened when I was doing it. I remember that sunset in Turkey that we were watching for, what was it?
Exactly.
45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah. No, it's incredible.
It is.
We had one. David Weiss was in watching in on the New York area, and at the same time in India, it was rising, and we looked on the globe, and it was at least 1,000 miles off of the Terminator line, and not humanly not possible with their ball. Not what they're saying. Because we had time and day up, checking it, where it's supposed to be and everything else. And it was always 20 degrees off or more on average every single fucking time. So what does that say? Well, everything's out on the maps, isn't it? They're portraying. So you could we tried to work it out by doing that, the discrepancy on this 20 degrees every time on the moon from their math and their daytime, day and night. Fuck me, it was really sweet actually. It could have gone a bit deeper, but I don't think we had enough sort of information or data coming into. We needed something like in South America and maybe the southern tip of Africa.
Yeah, isn't there supposed to be another sun tracking soon as well?
I think I heard Antonio saying he was going to knock one up. I'm not sure if I'm going to be welcome there, if I'm honest.
To be perfectly honest, I think it should be done like maybe every 3 months, like every quarterly in the year.
You can't miss opportunities
then
like
we
that.
can we can compare the differences then as well. You know, from the temperature changes for one.
I got it there. Yeah, just a second, brother. Sorry.
Yeah, do one on each solstice and equinox.
Yeah, I think it would sort of show some discrepancies anyway, at least.
All I know is I got to go to bed soon.
Okay, Ace, you let us know.
Yeah. You tell us to piss off, man, and we'll go.
Not right this second, but like 30 seconds. Just kidding.
It's all good.
So how about that? Those mind control slaves, Johnny? What you know about those?
Oh, it's endless. It just, I mean, it in my opinion, it's pretty much everybody who's out there today in the front lines. And that goes into all the sports teams. It's beyond organized in a way that is controlled through mind control that people can't imagine. And there's all kind of rituals that go on with the sports families and dugouts and before the game and after. It's, it's not just the actors and the rock stars.
Are these people that become famous later that might have been mind controlled? Are they put into society, or do they come out of nowhere almost?
Yeah, no.
Or are they planted in society and grow up and then become that famous person one day?
Yeah, they come right out of families. That's why there are a lot of child stars that have long careers. Not a lot of them do, but ones that do have it, it's numerous still. They have so many of them that they can raise them and they're not seen until they're adults, which happened years ago. You'd find actors kind of coming into middle age, into prominence, but it works in what basically what I'm saying is that there are no grassroots, that nobody really makes it to Hollywood or to a sports team or certainly the Olympics or the contests that they have today that leads to fame or being on YouTube and being successful from that. It's all rigged. It's all rigged so that people, once they are famous, they go along with the corporations and the corporations help them to be what they are. So that's why in 2004 I fell down, because it was like I had a powerful realization of that, even with the things that were, now 30, 40 years ago in music that I love so much that were good. I still think they're good, but they don't come from grassroots.
Another thing with music is most of the stuff being pushed as the best artist of today.
Yeah.
Hundreds of thousands of common people would be better than them.
Oh, absolutely true. And the Andy Warhol period made artistry go down as well. Just the concept of pop art brought down real art. It's just the way it worked in the media. You have one, why would hard rock almost put out folk music. Folk music could have continued, but they create music where it reaches a more powerful stage and wipes out what's before it. No other music ever did that before. So
right, so everyone can be basically kind of listening to the same thing,
and programmed to a greater extent on a deeper control with harsher music or louder music or more complicated music, as it came to be out of the 50s. Each decade, louder and harder. Yeah, so mind control is just in everything, pretty much. I mean, it's kind of scary when you first start out looking into it. Some people are not sure if it's probable. People ask questions: is it possible that a human can actually be controlled like a robot? Where
right. But some of those slaves were like living it 24/7, right, from birth.
From birth,
being
but with
programmed, tortured, and
right, and they have different alters, so they actually have different personalities, and that's a thing that comes into psychiatry, which is connected to that, Ace, where there is no such thing really as multiple personalities. If people have it, it's really alters for the most part. I'm not saying there aren't humans that have, psychological problems, but not in the ways that the psychoanalyst would analyze it to be. It cohorts with mind control. Any movie, like you guys don't know probably, I think it's called The Three Faces of Eve. It's an old 50s film about a woman who is in a mental hospital. She's got 3 personalities, but it's all based on mind control if you know where to look. And if you understand most movies and TV shows like The Twilight Zone from a mind control perspective, that's what gives the, what's the word? Or that fantasy that, you're looking at yourself when you're 4 in the mirror. And the only way that can be done is through hypnosis. And that's a big thing that was going on in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and it never ended. But it came into the consciousness of your average person through entertainment pretty much in the 50s when UFOs came out of nowhere. Pretty much no such thing as that before 1950 in
no shit. And look at the flying saucers throughout the years. The 50s, the 60s, 70s, 80s. Look how they get more and more complex from
Star Trek,
where people recall them.
The original Star Trek show, that was the only show ever at the time. There are other science fiction movies that were before it. It was the first show that celebrated other beings from other galaxies, other worlds. They did it every episode. So that was kind of introduced. Even on a fictional level, it was introducing the concept of worlds out there and alien beings. And that was all coming from that, like, post-1950, actually Roswell, right? 1947. Pretty much from that point on, which is like a Tavistock incident that never happened, but it impregnated the concept of a UFO that fell and beings from another planet that were actually operated on, and that propagated all those weird pictures in 1950, 51, 2, 3, black and white in a farm where you see a saucer over a Kansas skyline or wherever it was.
Yeah, with the green glow.
There are a whole bunch of famous ones, but they're all CGI of their day. Double exposure, just like the atom bomb, one of the famous atom bomb explosions, showing over the sea where the ships are, the little ships at the bottom, and it comes up, 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 and it's all superimposed film on top of other film. So the fraudulence to get people to believe the world's out there comes from so many different sources.
One of the A-bomb tests actually looks like film melting. Like,
that's
film gets stuck in front of the light and just started melting.
They actually, all those mushroom clouds that got into like flame or, different layers, a lot of that is filmography, it's layered film. And back then, this is heavy technology. It's at the place, I forget the name of it right now, it escapes me. It was the place in Laurel Canyon that they did this. You know about that government military.
Big building.
Yeah, this is where they did it, and they were able, dig this, I just know it from how I see it. It's film on top of film when they explode out in the desert, but what it is it's high technology. they were able to cut out the image and superimpose in a way that was very advanced. That's how they got the effect to work. It's like cut out fire images. They might have actually had a smoke bomb go up, but they superimposed the wizard and the Wizard of Oz when he's on the, he's the fire, he's coming out on the projection was from that film center, and they were able to cut out the exact image so they could place it in the desert. Another film. There's like 3-4 films on top of the actual film in the desert. So that was, and we look at it, we're like, oh my God, look at that thing go up. Holy shit. It's supposed to have radiation, and they've got all these guys in the dugout, 100 yards away.
With their glasses.
The coming of age, the going of age, it came easy. It went just as fast. Where's all that radiation? But we saw it on a screen. And they show people looking out. Their hands are looking out, over at it, about to come out, the bomb. And they've got men on the side right behind these men talking to each other, not looking while it's going up. You get it?
Right.
You get it? You get it, right? It's edited, it's film on top of film, and it's not actually happening before those gentlemen. Yeah. So that's how they did that. It was very, very.
And then the little scale models of the houses getting blown apart.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like, come on.
Exactly what they are. All the buses turning over and the houses exploding. And just at the moment that they do explode, you see a cut in the film, and the explosion comes from inside the house. Those are models. The explosions are coming from inside the model house.
Well, yeah, they even look like models. They didn't try that hard on that particular shot.
Yeah.
There's a documentary though that shows all the nuclear tests in a row. It's like 45 minutes of nothing but just blasts. Mm-hmm. You seen that?
I'm sorry, say that again?
It's this documentary that's basically just every atomic blast footage spliced together to make like an hour-long
Oh, I don't know.
string.
I don't think I've seen that. I've seen
You can see it on YouTube.
I would love to see that. They have a few that are really, really fake, but they're tremendously scary. One's showing, you've probably seen it, a ship on the ocean where they exploded, and they show the waves coming up, which seems like hundreds of feet, and it takes like, I don't know how long to try to finally get to the ship, and then it doesn't even cover the ship. There's a ship in front of it, and the waves in front of the other ship, nothing's moving. There's no water moving in front of that at all. And that's superimposed film. You can see the triple negatives actually superimposed on top of what they're showing a big, where the whatever they're called, those big ships. They're showing like 100-foot wave slowly exploding from an atom bomb coming right over the ship. And as it comes over the ship, there's a ship right ahead of that where the water's not affected by any of that splash at all. So I've seen
gravity.
Yeah, gravity. I've never seen
Selective.
I've never seen one realistic explosion to this day, but I'd love to see what you're talking about.
Yeah, some of it just looks like a lot of TNT going off, or a gasoline bomb sometimes too. So that makes a nice mushroom cloud.
Smoke bombs and high explosives at high amounts. Yeah. And what they gave the impression of is something that has a lot of power in a condensed form. Yeah. That's what it was.
Forced perspective. It's just film trickery.
Splitting the atom is what I thought it was called.
Dude, just look, Hollywood does it all the time. They make it look like a city blows up, but really it's a small little firecracker. You know what I mean? It's just how you film it.
Yeah.
Not saying they don't have weapons that are probably worse though, like like electromagnetic type.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
just dumb shit. Fuck with us. Who knows? We might not even know what it's like to live in the real world. Like we were born into this with the whole electromagnetic matrix spread all over the place and chemicals,
Yeah, we're brought up on Captain Crunch. Pretty much.
Fruit Loops.
A rose by any other name.
Yep. Well, on that note, I think it's time for bed.
All right, brother. Hey, thanks for having me. It was
Hell
good
yeah.
having you back.
Hell yeah. Thanks for stopping by. We'll have to do it next week.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure. Good hanging out with you, Gav, Martin.
Yeah, Gav. Fancy seeing you.
Always fun. Oh, yeah. I crawled out the woodwork, man.
I know. Shit. All right.
Yeah.
Martin. Later, Martin, if you can hear us. Good night, everybody.
Good night, Ace. Have a good
All
one.
33 in chat. Later.
Good night, everyone out there. Thanks for tuning in.
Show.